After a late rainout yesterday, the Harbor Hawks have turned to McKeon Park tonight to face off with the Cotuit Kettleers for the fifth time this season. Fifth of six matchups between the two ball clubs, with these two teams playing 3 times in 4 days to end the 2019 Patriot Cup. Cotuit at this point has already taken the series 4 games to nothing. They've won those games by scores of 11 to nothing, 9 to 8, 16 to 4, and 7 to 6. Cotuit has really had no trouble getting any runs off the Hyannis pitching staff, as they've put up a total of what's been 43 runs in 4 games thus far. The team's arguable best offense, first in home runs, third in hits, have had no trouble against the Hyannis Ball Club, but tonight they look to send out right-hander Cole Pletka to change the course. Cole Pletka on the season set to make appearance number 5 for Hyannis and his second start, where he came off the last time going 4 innings pitched, giving up 5 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts in part of a 2-0 win out at Eldridge Park. Meanwhile, for Cotuit, they'll send out the left-hander Jackson Wolf out of West Virginia. Wolf will be making his 6th appearance, his 5th for Cotuit in 2019. But the last time he went out, he pitched just 1 inning in relief. So those two set to go at it tonight, with the Harbor Hawks and Kettleers set to take place for the 5th time in 2019. We're going to take a quick pause and rise for the national anthem. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We'll have lineups and first pitch on the other side of the break when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. And welcome back to McKeon Park, everybody. Lyle Goldstein, thank you so much for tuning in this evening from McKeon Park. With the Harbor Hawks and Kettleers set to square off for the 5th time this season, Hyannis playing their 32nd game, looking to pick up win number 7. And to do so, they'll send out the right-hander Cole Pletka from the University of Dayton. Pletka once again making appearance number 5, start number 2 for Hyannis in the blue and orange uniform, although tonight Hyannis sporting the Friday red jerseys. Pletka getting loose on the mound. These two teams set to square off for the 2nd time in 3 days. And they'll play a game tomorrow as well back at Lowell Park to complete the 2019 Summer Series, playing 3 times in 4 days to end the season, or to end their series, rather. To take a look back at what happened 2 nights ago, Cotuit won by a final score of 7 to 6 in 6 innings played. Hyannis' offense really got going once again. A couple guys really showed out, a 3-hit day from Ian Fair, Jared DeSantillo punching his 2nd home run of the summer. But Cotuit's 4th spot in the bottom of the 6th erased a 3-run lead for Hyannis and ultimately gave the Cotuit Ball Club their 16th win of the season. Today, Pletka looks to change the course, as once again he's coming off his strongest start of the summer, where he went 4 innings pitched, giving up no runs on 5 hits as well as 5 strikeouts at Eldridge Park and a 2-0 win against Orleans. Right-hander getting set up on the mound. He's set to take on a Cotuit lineup that'll look like this. Nick Gonzalez leading off, playing second base. He once again had another huge game against Hyannis a couple nights ago. He'll be followed by Matthew Mervis, the Duke first baseman. Araja New back in the lineup hitting third. Parker Chavers doing the cleanup duty, followed by Joey Loperfido in the number 5 spot, the Duke right fielder. The final 4 in the order: Casey Schmidt, Cameron Hill, Colton Kessler, and Adam Oviedo. So Pletka just behind the mound. He's finished his warm-ups. And he's about set to go with Gonzalez striding to the right side of the box. So Cotuit playing their 33rd game of the summer. They sit at 16, 13, and 3. Hyannis at 6-24-1, looking for win number 7. Cole Pletka up on the mound. The wide stance, bends the knees. Rocks and fires the first pitch. Fastball called strike, and we're underway. 6:01 the first pitch time for Hyannis. 77 degrees with a slight breeze out toward right center. So Pletka on the mound, he gets the sign. Now the next offering, slap foul out of play on the right side. So a beautiful night for baseball on this Friday evening. Sunny day, some scattered clouds moving from left to right throughout the sky. The infield back for Pletka, who's got an 0-2 count. Righty sets, fires. Swung on and popped up the elevator shaft. Hackenberg, the catcher, giving it a chase, but it gets out of play and finds the crowd. So Gonzalez finds himself in an 0-2 count. He comes off a performance out at Lowell Park against Hyannis 2 nights ago. He went 3 for 4, a home run, 2 runs batted in. That was his 6th bomb of the summer. He now sits tied for 3rd in the league with those home runs. Pletka, the right-hander, working from the first base side. He gets the sign, fires the 0-2. Breaking ball, nubbed foul. Gonzalez gave it a check swing and just got off the handle of the bat. So Gonzalez tapping the bat to his front toe on the left foot outside the box. Pletka looking for his first strikeout in the first out of the game. A little bit of wind blowing off the pant legs as he gives a long look in at the right-handed hitting Gonzalez. Bends the knees. Deals the 0-2. Misses down low. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. That one coming in at 92 miles an hour. So Hyannis tonight wearing the Friday red uniforms, which each home team sports on every Friday game here on Cape Cod, as well as their white pants with the blue trim, blue pinstripes. As Pletka fires home, breaking ball just misses inside, the count levels. Additionally, still wearing the blue belts. Red jersey has white lettering, but up on top, they're wearing the camouflage military hats with the Cape Cod logo up on the top of the cap. Cotuit in their road white, maroon pinstripes on the jerseys and the pant legs. Pitch from Pletka, swinging a pop-up foul, gets out of play. Kettleers also sporting the maroon belts, maroon helmets with the white C up on the top. Gonzalez has himself a 2-2 count, already working a lengthy at bat against the righty Pletka to begin the ball game. Righty will dig back in. Flips the bat out toward the mound a couple times as Pletka gets set the 2-2. Swinging a pop-up foul out of play, and this is exactly what Nick Gonzalez does. Does not strike out a whole lot. He's got 14 punch-outs on the year, and he's got 110 at-bats. 15 walks at that as well. And a guy who's easily on the short list of contenders for the Cape League MVP. Pletka, the righty, bends the knees, gets the sign from Hackenberg. 2-2. Swung on and popped up foul. This will get out of play. Hyannis defense tonight, from left to right in the outfield. Trevor Hoover, Rowdy Jordan, Hunter Goodman. And the same way on the infield. Jackson Olson, Jordan Westberg, Anthony Servideo, and Ian Fair. Battery one more time. Adam Hackenberg, the Clemson catcher behind the plate. And right-hander Cole Pletka out of Dayton on the mound. Righty stands at 6'8", 230 pounds. Flashes that high 80s to low 90s fastball. Also mixes in a breaking ball. Now the 2-2 to Nick Gonzalez. Ground ball left side, backhanded by Olson behind the bag. Strong throw across the diamond. Good stretch by Fair in time. So 1 away. Nick Gonzalez really made Cole Pletka work for that first out, but he gets it on the 5-3 putout. It'll bring up Matthew Mervis, the Duke first baseman. So Mervis comes into the day hitting .308. Left-handed hitting bat out of Duke. Comes off a 1-for-3 performance, along with a walk and 2 runs scored. What was part of that 7-6 Cotuit win over Hyannis. Pletka still working from the windup. 6'8 righty gets set, comes home, swing and a miss at a heater. 0-1 the count to Mervis. He represents one of 5 natural left-handed hitters in the Cotuit lineup tonight. Arajanu, a switch hitter from Kentucky. He'll be hitting from the left side against the righty Pletka. Now the 0-1. Swung on and line foul straight back. Anu waits on deck. Didn't play in Wednesday's contest between these two squads. Mervis did, however, and once again, certainly made an impact with the 2 runs scored. The left-handed hitting bat wiggles the bat just in front of his back shoulder. The infield back, Pletka gets the sign as the 6-8 righty's ready. The 0-2. Down low, had a pitch to waste as he buried an off-speed pitch. It moves to 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Duke Blue Devil. So 3 natural righties in the Cotuit lineup. Nick Gonzalez, 1, who just recorded that ground out to third, as well as Casey Schmidt and Adam Oviedo. Pletka ready. He now delivers the 1-2. Misses just low, and the count runs to 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Cole Pletka making his second stint on Cape Cod. He's had a much longer one with the Harbor Hawks than he did with the Whitey Red Sox, where he started his summer. Shakes off a handful of signs. Now gets one he likes. He's ready with the 2-2. Swung on and popped foul out of play over the press box behind home plate. So Pletka had just 1 appearance with Whitey at the beginning of the season. It was a good one at that. 2 1/3 scoreless. 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, giving up just 2 hits out at Veterans Field against Chatham. That contest, the Red Sox lost 7-3 back on June the 15th. Now Pletka ready, deals to the lefty Mervis. Ground ball right at the first baseman Ian Fair. Fields on a couple hops, steps on the pillow, and there's 2 down. It's a good start for the right-hander Cole Pletka. Records a pair of groundouts to begin the game. And now stepping in, the switch hitting Arajanu out of Kentucky. So Anu, big-time power in his repertoire, but only hitting 174 entering today's play. Pletka ready. Deals the first offering. Line drive down the right field line, hooking Fair. It's going to get toward the corner. Anu jogging around first. He's thinking too. Almost looks like he's limping that way. Up with the ball, Goodman. Cut off by Servideo in short right center. And standing up at second base with a 2-out double, the Kentucky Wildcat, Arajanu. So Anu jumps all over an inside fastball from Pletka, pulls it down the right field line, and stands up at second, no problem. First hit of the day on the board for Cotuit. 2 nights ago, they recorded a total of 9, and that was in just 6 innings played, of course. Cotuit, 1 of 3 ballparks without lights on the Cape. Them, Red Wilson Field in Whitey, and Stony Brook Field in Brewster. Pletka works out of the stretch for the first time. Breaking ball to Chavers, taken for a strike. It's 0-1. The Lowell Park, an absolute beauty. One of the nicest ballparks you'll find on Cape Cod, just no lights. Pletka ready, the 0-1. Swing and a miss from Chavers, count runs to 0-2. Because there was no lights, a lot of their games, to go along with Whitey and Brewster as well, get cut short, hence why all 3 of those teams start all their home games at 5 o'clock. So it was a 5 o'clock start 2 nights ago, but still only got through 6 innings with rain coming over and dark clouds emerging. 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Chavers chases one out of the strike zone to end the inning as Cole Pletka picks up his first strikeout of the night. The right-hander faces 1 over the minimum in the top of the first, and a Arajanu 2-out double down the right field line doesn't go for anything else. He's stranded at second base to end the frame. And for the Kettleers, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. Cotuit nothing, Hyannis nothing. Harbor Hawks getting their first at-bats on the other side of the break on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hyannis set to come to the plate in the bottom of the first inning as Cotuit takes the field for the first time with the left-hander Jackson Wolf up on the mound for Mike Roberts' squad. Roberts putting out an imposing figure on the mound with the lefty Wolf. He stands at 6'7", 205 pounds, so a couple of giants going at it here tonight in terms of the starting pitchers. 6'8" Cole Pletka from Dayton for Hyannis and 6'7" Jackson Wolf out of West Virginia for the Kettleers. Set to face a Hyannis lineup that goes like this. Jordan Westberg leading off, followed by Ian Fair, Trevor Hauver, Hunter Goodman in the cleanup spot, Jackson Olsen hitting fifth. After him, Brooks Carlson, Anthony Servideo, Adam Hackenberg, and Rowdy Jordan. As the lefty's ready, fires the first pitch to Westberg. It's a fastball outside. The weather's still absolutely beautiful from McKeon Park. Decent wind blowing out toward right center. The lefty's ready next offering, swing and a miss from Westberg. Count runs to 1-1. A little bit of a jet stream in the ballpark, no doubt about that tonight, with some heavy wind blowing out toward the scoreboard. And for Westberg, that's his power zone. Really, really good opposite field bat from the right side. Offering, fastball runs away. So Wolf making his 6th appearance, 5th start for Cotuit here in 2019. His last appearance came in 1 inning of relief. That is only time out of the bullpen this summer. Lengthy lefty ready, the 2-1. Fastball, good run as it hits the outside corner. It's 2-2. So some really, really good arm side run to that fastball early on from the lefty Wolf. His heater sits from 88 to 91 miles an hour. Also breaks in a curveball. Those are his 2 primary pitches. Can throw a changeup at times. Works the windup. Now the 2-2. Swung on and fouled back. So Westberg comes into the contest hitting .353. 3 home runs, 10 runs batted in. He was 1 for 4 with an RBI 2 nights ago at Cotuit. And Westberg's starting to get hot again. Now Wolf, the lefty, ready. 2-2. Breaking ball down low, and the count runs full. So again, Westberg had a little bit of a tough stretch after going 12 for his first 20, and of course that regression expected. He went 0 for his next 14, but now he's got a 4-game hitting streak going. And in that 4-game hitting streak, 2 multi-hit games. 3-2, chopper right side, moving to his left, the shortstop Gonzalez fields it chest high, flips to first in time. So Westberg retired on a 4-3 putout to begin the bottom of the first. 1 out on the board for Ian Fair. Cotuit defense tonight, left to right in the outfield. Parker Chavers, Cam Hill, Joey Loperfido. The same way around the infield, Casey Schmidt, Adam Oviedo, Nick Gonzalez, and Matthew Mervis. Kentucky catcher Colton Kessler behind the plate, and one more time completing the battery, lefty Jackson Wolf on the mound as he fires to Fair, fastball away. Wolf, the left-hander out of West Virginia. 13 starts and 15 appearances in 2019. He went 2-4 with a 5.17 ERA in 69 2/3 innings pitched. 1-0. Fastball grounded left side, backhanded by Oviedo going to his right. Long throw across the diamond just in time. So Ian Fair retired on the 6-3 putout. And just like that, there's 2 outs on the board for Hyannis in the bottom of the first. So Wolf worked a couple of quick groundouts, making both of his middle infielders work a little bit. Gonzalez had to shift way to his left to make the first play. Only got Westberg by about half a foot. And then Adam Oviedo moving to his right to backhand that ball in the hole. And had to make a strike of a throw across the diamond, but did so in time. Now Trevor Hauver, the hitter, offering, breaking ball low and away. Lefty-lefty matchup taking place, with Hauver being one of 3 natural left-handed hitters in the lineup tonight. Rowdy Jordan, a switch hitter. Now the 1-0. Fastball hits the outside corner, the count levels. So at least as of now, only 3 lefties in the lineup for Hyannis. Rowdy will be hitting from the right side against the lefty Jackson Wolf, who comes set, delivers the 1-1. Fastball, same spot, outside corner, it's 1-2. Hauver hitting .225 entering the day. 1 home run, 11 RBIs. Pounding that ball in the glove, the lefty Wolf. Now ready, offering, ground ball up the middle. Gonzalez to his right, goes off his glove, and it skips into center field. So Trevor Hauver picks up a 2-out base hit as he stands aboard at first with 1 out or 2 outs in the frame. So Haver, who came off a 1-for-4 day 2 days ago, picks up a hit here in the bottom of the first, and it'll bring up Hunter Goodman. And we'll see what Goodman's got in store for his first at bat. Was hitless against Cotuit out at Lowell Park on Wednesday, making his first plate appearance since, with Haver getting a short lead at first, held on by Mervis. Wolf's going to throw over. Trevor's back, moving about a half a step back to the bag. Goodman comes into the day leading the Cape in RBIs, much like he's done the last week or so. Wiggles the bat just in front of his right shoulder. As Wolf's ready, the offering. Fastball misses outside. So Haver just slapped that ground ball through the middle. Gonzalez moving to his right, trying to make a play at it, but couldn't quite do so. Got a glove on it, but not enough. 1-0 to Goodman. Fly ball into the gap in right center field. That's going to get down and get to the wall. It's off the top of the fence. Haver around second, moving to third. Gassman giving him the wave around. Here comes the relay from Oviedo. The catcher Kessler applies the tag, and Haver called safe at the plate. RBI double for Hunter Goodman, picks up his 27th run batted in of the summer. And Hyannis strikes first. It's 1-0 Harbor Hawks in the bottom of the first inning. So Goodman just sees a fastball out on the outer half of the plate. He stays with it, shooting it to the power alley in right center. Hits off the top of the wall. Haver, of course, running with 2 outs, got an aggressive wave around from Chad Gassman. Oviedo got the cutoff in short center field, turned and made a quick relay to the catcher Kessler at the plate. But he couldn't slap the tag down in time on Haver as the throw was a little bit to the catcher's right. And now it brings up Jackson Olsen out of Hartford. Kessler throws over, but nobody holding. Luckily, Oviedo jumped to save the baseball. So a guess, but a guess that doesn't come back to hurt the lefty Wolf. Oviedo was shifted back toward the lip of the outfield grass, but he jumped up to save the ball on the attempted pickoff. Now the first pitch to Olsen. Breaking ball in the dirt. Saved by the catcher Kessler, chesting it up, and Goodman will stay put at second base. And Hunter Goodman, this guy's had a phenomenal summer. Once again, Cape League leader in RBIs. He only adds to the total now. Olsen, left-handed hitting third baseman, swings away, chops one up the middle, off the glove of Wolf, still fielded by Oviedo out in front, throws across. That'll end the inning. Hyannis strikes first. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on. It's Hyannis 1, Cotuit 0. We'll go to the top of the second when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Top of the second, set to get underway from Cotuit, with the Kettleers sending up the 5-6-7, Joey Loperfido, Casey Schmidt, and Cam Hill. Coming to the plate against the lefty Cole Pletka, out for inning number 2 on the mound. So Pletka Working from the first base side again, the wind blowing off his pant legs as he bends the knees, fires home the offering. Fastball jackknives the hitter Loperfido. It's 1-0. So Loperfido didn't get the start 2 nights ago. Comes into today's contest hitting .239 with a home run, 2 runs batted in. 1-0 from Pletka. Fastball down. It's 2 balls, no strikes. So this is Pletka's second start in a Hyannis uniform. A scoreless first on 1 hit, with Hyannis leading 1-0 in the top of the second. As Pletka's ready, the 2-0. Swung on and popped foul, high and out of play, over the light tower on the third base side. So with the wind blowing out swiftly toward right center, like it has been since the start of the ball game. Still a bit of a jet stream taking place here as Pletka's ready, 2-1. Swung on and lifted into fairly deep center. Drifting back a couple steps, Rowdy Jordan. He settles under it and squeezes it for the first out. So Loperfido sent down. First fly ball out recorded today by the Cotuit offense. That'll segue things to Casey Schmidt. Loperfido squared it up decently well. Center field, the deepest part of the park here at McKeon Park in Hyannis. 394 feet to dead central. It's 324 down the left field line. 330 down the right field line. Now Schmidt's the hitter. He's another power threat in this Kettleers lineup. First pitch from Pletka. Breaking ball hits the inside corner. It's 0-1. So Schmidt, .270 hitter entering today's play, but the 5 home runs and 17 runs batted in is what'll stick out at you. A 1 from Pletka. Fastball lifted foul, up and out of play. Cole's fastball stuck around the low 90s to begin the game. And he's worked it well on both sides of the plate up to this point. Schmidt, right foot back in the box, takes half a practice swing, now puts the left foot back in. With his feet shoulder width apart, a squared stance in the box, knees bent. 0-2 from Pletka. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout on the evening for the righty as Casey Schmidt fans for the first out of the top of the second inning. Or second out, rather. Second strikeout, second out. We'll bring up Cam Hill. So the Loperfido fly out to begin the inning. Schmidt fans for out number 2. Now that segues things to left-handed hitting Cam Hill out of Kentucky. Pletka, the righty, bends the knees. Comes home with the offering. Weak wave and a miss. It's 0-1. So the difference maker in the game up to this point, of course, still very, very early in play. The Hunter Goodman RBI double off the wall in right center. Pletka gets the sign, the 0-1. Swung on and tapped foul behind the plate off the backstop. 27th RBI of the summer. And again, that only adds to his total. He had a 4 RBI lead for some time. But after Nico Cavadas continuing his hot streak, as well as Nick Gonzalez, those two have closed in. Now Pletka's 0-2. Swung on and tapped into the glove, strike 3. Make it 3 strikeouts for the Dayton righty. He's thrown 2 scoreless frames up on the board to this point. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. Pletka fans the Cotuit lineup in order. We'll go to the bottom of the second. It's Kettleers 0, Hyannis 1 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Brooks Carlson, Anthony Servideo, and Adam Hackenberg, the 6, 7, 8 in the Harbor Hawks lineup, coming to the plate in the bottom of the second inning against the lefty Jackson Wolf out of West Virginia. Hyannis leads by a score of 1-0. That comes on the Hunter Goodman RBI double just an inning ago, with Carlson digging into the right side of the box. Throws his backhand out at home plate umpire David Chaston, opting for time, now plays set. Pitch, swing and a miss, strike one. Carlson didn't play 2 nights ago. Comes into today hitting 162. Has a home run. That came against this Kettleers ball club. Also 5 runs batted in. Now the 0-1 from the lengthy lefty. Checks his swing and he goes around to run the count to 0-2. So Carlson, a guy who certainly has a threatening bat. A guy who hit .340 in both of his first 2 school seasons. Now looking to make up some ground on Cape Cod. 0-2. Fastball misses outside. Again, he has some power. He had that 1 home run against the Cotuit Ball Club earlier in the season. 6 home runs in 2019. 10 in 2018. Now the 1-2 from Wolf. Swung on and ripped to the left side, through a base hit. Backhanded effort by Oviedo. He can't get there as the ball slightly bobbled by Chavers and left. He tosses it back into the infield. And Brooks Carlson picks up a leadoff single to begin the bottom of the second frame. So 1 on, nobody out. Hyannis picks up their 3rd hit of the night. That'll bring up Anthony Servideo, left-handed hitting second baseman from Ole Miss. Servideo, another left-handed bat. Brooks Carlson, the righty, just punched the single through the 5-6 gap. And now Cotuit's going to put a bit of a shift on, with Oviedo, the shortstop, playing up the middle. Wolf throws over. Carlson walks back to the bag, no problem. Casey Schmidt, the San Diego State Aztec, playing well off the line to the left, also in on the lip of the infield grass. Pitch from Wolf. Fastball hits the top of the zone. It's 0-1. Servideo went 1 for 3 with a run scored. Also an RBI back at Cotuit 2 days ago. Hyannis again was leading 6-3 entering the bottom of the 6th. As Wolf's ready, fires home the 0-1. Fastball clips the outside corner. It's 0-2. But the Kettleers put up a 4 spot in the bottom of the 6th to take a 7-6 lead. And that was ultimately the deciding factor. Dark clouds and eventual rain called the ball game off, with Cotuit picking up the 1-run win. 0-2 to Servideo, popped foul behind home plate. It gets out of play. So Cotuit, once again, up 4-0 in the series against Hyannis in 2019. With that win 2 days ago, they've clinched the Patriot Cup in 2019, the annual series that takes place every summer between these 2 ball clubs. Wolf throws over. Carlson back to the bag, standing up. And in these 4 games so far, once again, Cotuit, no problem putting runs on the board against Hyannis. As Wolf's ready, 0-2 to Servideo. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Servideo left looking at it as the lefty Jackson Wolf picks up his first strikeout. 1 down with 1 on for Adam Oviedo, or rather, Adam Hackenberg. Adam Oviedo, the shortstop, kicking some dirt just beyond the second base bag as he's still playing up the middle, with Adam Hackenberg, the catcher, digging into the right side. Wolf ready, first offering, swing and a miss. Hackenberg chases an off-speed that runs off the plate. No balls, 1 strikes. But back to the 4 games. Cotuit won 11-0 in game 1, 9-8 in game 2, 16-4 in game 3, and then 7-6 in game 4. As Wolf's ready, checks on Carlson, now fires home. Swinging a tip back into the glove from Hackenberg. It's 0-2. First game took place here at McKeon Park in Hyannis, and second game took place out at Lowell Park, and it's just alternated every game after that. Game 3 in Hyannis, game 4 at Cotuit, game 5 tonight in Hyannis, and game 6, as the series wraps up tomorrow, will take place at Lowell Park. Wolf throws over to first. Carlson back standing up again. Hasn't had too much of a lead down there. And still just getting a pretty short one here with the first baseman Mervis holding him on. Now Wolf's 0-2. Fastball misses outside. So again, the 4 games, Cotuit's taken all of them. They've put up a total of 43 runs in 4 games against Hyannis. And this is an offense that's as lethal as maybe anybody on the Cape. 1-2. Misses down from Wolf on a fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Of course, Wareham might have an argument as well. Gateman sit first in average, first in on base, first in hits. Cotuit outs them in home runs. But those 2 offenses, probably the 2 strongest you'll find on the elbow of mass. Pitch to Hackenberg on the inside corner, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for the lefty Jackson Wolf as he makes it 2 outs in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Brooks Carlson still at first after that leadoff single. Brings up Rowdy Jordan, the switch-hitting center fielder from Mississippi State. So Rowdy working from the right side of the box. Switch-hitting outfielder. He taps the plate once, puts the right hand to the top of his helmet. Flips the bat out toward the mound, now into his stance. Lefty Wolf still working from the stretch, fires home. Fastball at the knees, called strike. So Cotuit, obviously a long ball hitting club. They have a ton of guys who have the ability to put the ball out of the yard. Arajanu certainly one, Nick Gonzalez another. Both those guys in the lineup tonight. Now the pitch to Jordan, slapped on the ground to the left side. That's going to hook just foul. In terms of Cotuit, Nick Gonzalez has 6 home runs. Arajanu has 4. Casey Schmidt has 5. Parker Chavers has 4. And Adam Oviedo has 3. They put together a nucleus of a ball club that's put together 29 home runs this summer. Sits at first in the league. And again, they've really jumped all over Hyannis the first 4 games. As of right now, it's 1-0 Harbor Hawks in the bottom of the 2nd. Pitch, runner takes off, throw down to second from Kessler. They've got him nailed by a mile. Tag applied by Gonzalez. Brooks Carlson out trying to swipe second. And that'll end the bottom of the 2nd frame. So Wolf goes 1 over the minimum in the bottom of the 2nd. Gives up no runs on 1 hit, no errors, leaves 1 left on. Through 2 innings, it's Hyannis 1, Cotuit 0. We'll be back for the top of the 3rd when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. To the top of the 3rd we go from McKeon Park. Mike Roberts Cotuit Ball Club set to send up their 8-9-1 of Colton Kessler, Adam Oviedo, and Nick Gonzalez. As the left-handed hitting Kessler out of the University of Kentucky digs in from the left side. With Cole Pletka back on the mound for inning number 3. First offering, sweeping breaking ball in for a strike. It's 0-1. So Kessler, one of the few Cotuit bats that is still trying to make up for some lost time this summer as he's only hitting 159. 0-1. Line drive right at the second baseman, Servideo. Moves a step to his left and snags it for the first out. So Cole Pletka retires yet another Cotuit batter. There's one down for Adam Oviedo with the TCU right-handed bat coming to the plate. So Kessler and L4 or a 4 put out. Servideo just catches his line drive to the right side of the infield. With Oviedo digging in from the right side. Pletka's ready the offering. Fastball just upstairs. It's 1-0. So Pletka's now retired 5 straight after the Arajanu 2-out double in the first. Infield back. As Pletka gets the sign. 1-0. Fastball runs just low. 2 balls, no strikes the count. Oviedo hitting .213 entering today's play. Again, you can now call him a former TCU Horned Frog as he's set to transfer to Oral Roberts. As Pletka's ready, 2-0 offering coming in. Line drive into deep left center field. This chases Hover back at the wall, looks up, it's off the top of the fence. Oviedo around first, he's thinking second. Throw cut off in deep left center, and it's tossed back into the infield with Oviedo standing up at second base. It's a 1-out double for the former TCU Horned Frog, and Cotuit has their second runner of the night in scoring position. So Pletka set down 5 straight before that double from Oviedo. He absolutely pieced that one up, turning on one into the gap in left center. Nice job by Hover to quickly play it off the fence and relay it in. But 2 hits for the Kettleers now, both of them doubles. And it brings up a guy in Nick Gonzalez who can certainly do some damage. Pletka working back from the stretch, checking on Oviedo. First offering, breaking ball just up high. And not only can Gonzalez do a lot of damage, he can do a lot of damage with the 2-bagger. 9 doubles on the season for Gonzalez. That's tied for first in the league. Again, first in hits entering today's play with 39. He's got an RBI opportunity with Oviedo standing at second base. Pletka's 1-0. Ground ball off the front foot of Gonzalez. It's a foul ball inside the box. So Gonzalez will kick some dirt from the box, starting to reset a bit. And as you can probably imagine, his situational hitting is just about as good as his average hitting. Runners on base, he's hitting .391. Runners in scoring position, he's hitting .455. Pletka ready as he checks Oviedo. Now a second time. As he comes home to Gonzalez. Fastball misses low. 2 balls, 1 strike the count. Gonzalez working his way out of the right side of the box to quickly reset. And you just really can't find a bad stat of Gonzalez this summer. He's done everything well. And certainly everything offensively. Flipping the bat out by his back shoulder, offering slap foul behind him. So Pletka works a circle around the mound. He wants to reset for a minute. Gonzalez a 2-2 count with 1 down. Hyannis leading 1-0 in the top of the 3rd inning. Action looming down the left field line in the Hyannis bullpen, although Pletka's really made pretty quick work of the Cotuit lineup thus far. Comes set at the belt, 2-2. Swung on and line foul back. Gonzalez once again putting together another lengthy at bat. And again, Pletka's had no trouble with this Cotuit lineup thus far, although this will be his second time seeing them around, and this Cotuit lineup can often come back to bite you, even if it comes after the first couple innings or so. Pletka ready as he comes set, checks Oviedo at second base. Now the 2-2. Up high, count runs full. That's exactly what happened 2 nights ago, too. When they faced right-hander Tommy McCollum, he had no trouble the first time through the order. The first 9 batters combined for just 1 hit. But after that, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd, Gonzalez, the man at the plate right now, punched an opposite field home run, and that's what got the floodgates open. Pletka looking at Oviedo, full count offering. Ground ball left side. Westberg charging in. Fields out in front. Throws on the run across in time. Nice play by the Bulldog Jordan Westberg. Quick reaction, charges the baseball, fields it off his left foot, makes a strong throw to Ian Fair across the diamond for the second out. Oviedo stays put at second base. Now it brings up Matthew Mervis, left-handed hitting bat from Duke. So Mervis grounded out his first time. Another guy who's had a lot of success in the Cotuit lineup. 6'8" righty Cole Pletka has thrown 2 2/3 scoreless to this point, giving up just 2 hits. First offering, down low, gloved by Hackenberg behind the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Mervis again, a walk and 2 runs scored to go along with 1 hit 2 nights ago. Pletka the righty, bending his knees, getting the sign from Hackenberg. Still a lot of wind blowing here at McKeon. 1-0. Fastball at the top of the zone, called strike 1. So Mervis looking to get something started for his Cotuit ball club. Pletka, once again, after throwing 4 shutout out at Eldridge Park in his last start, has really looked good here through the first couple innings. Pitch, fastball in. Pletka in his school season, 56 1/3 innings pitched, 10 starts and 14 appearances, where he went 4-3, 4.79 ERA. And despite a fastball that's not incredibly overpowering, he finds ways to miss bats. 81 strikeouts in his 2019 season. That ranks second on the Dayton Ball Club. 2-1. Swung on and popped foul out of play. That gets behind home plate as the count will even up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kettleers with 2 hits. One of them coming from Adam Oviedo, who stands on second base. Other coming from Arajanu, who awaits on deck. Mervis taking his time getting back into the left side of the box. Taps the outside of the plate once, then the inside of the plate. And now he rests the bat above, or just on his left shoulder. Pletka comes set above the belt. 2-2. Check swing, outside fastball, appeal down, he doesn't go around. Mervis in a 3-2 count. 1-0 Hyannis the score in the top of the 3rd inning. Pletka giving the hitter Mervis a long stare down. As he steps off the mound, he wants to take his time for a minute. Looking to minimize damage. Hasn't allowed any to this point. But with a runner looming at second, Adam Oviedo trying to get out of a mini jam. 3-2 with 2 outs. Pletka back on the mound, bending those knees, gazing in at the catcher Hackenberg as he gets the sign. The stretch and the 3-2 on the way. Breaking ball up high. Mervis draws a 2-out walk, and it puts 2 aboard with 2 away in the top of the 3rd inning. So here comes Arajanu. 1 switch hitter in the Cotuit lineup tonight. Once again, he'll be hitting from the left side. He's gotten the best of Pletka once already tonight. We'll see how Cole pitches to him the second time around. Pletka still out of the stretch. First pitch, breaking ball way outside. It takes Hackenberg to his left, but he keeps the ball in front of him. Jordan Westberg shaded up the middle. The Hyannis shortstop toward the bag at second, with Anthony Servideo playing at about his natural spot on the right side of the infield. The corner's back. Outfield pretty much straight up, playing anew fairly deep. And that's pretty much expected. 1-0. Swung on and taps foul behind the plate. Goodman about 15, 20 feet in front of the track in right field. However, giving him some respect in left field as well. He's shaded fairly deep. A new 4 home runs on the season. 2 have come against this Hyannis club, and one of them right here at McKeon Park the first time these 2 squared off. Pletka's 1-1. Swung on and popped high in the air into shallow center field or left field. Hover coming in. He's got a beat on it, and he makes the grab at the shoulder to end the inning. So Cole Pletka gives up 2 base runners, but minimizes damage, putting a 3rd 0 up on the board, this time in the top of the 3rd inning. Cotuit, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on. We'll go to the bottom of the third. It's Hyannis 1, Cotuit 0 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. (9-1-2) coming to the plate for Hyannis in the bottom of the third. It'll be Mississippi State Bulldogs Rowdy Jordan and then Jordan Westberg, followed by Ian Fair. The lefty Wolf fires the first pitch. It's a fastball away. So Jackson Wolf to this point has given up 1 run on 3 hits in 2 innings pitched. Rowdy Jordan getting to see him for the first time. Now the 1-0. Fastball, that misses just outside. Or technically it's the first time. You could put an asterisk around it, however, as Rowdy came to the plate in the bottom of the second inning. However, Brooks Carlson tried to swipe second base, but a strong throw from Colton Kessler had him nabbed by about 10 feet. 2-0. Fastball outside. 3-0 the count to the switch-hitting Rowdy Jordan. Rowdy outside the box, adjusting the batting gloves just a bit, as well as the Velcro, as he's taking his time getting back in the box. Lefty Wolf more of the same up on the mound. He was behind the mound tapping the rosin bag for a second. Now he's back on. Ready the 3-0. Get me over fastball as his hat falls off. 3 balls, 1 strike, the count to Jordan. Rowdy Jordan, 130 entering today's play. Also 3 runs batted in. One of them coming 2 nights ago against Cotuit. 3-1. Big swing and a miss. Count runs full. Had a run scored as well 2 nights ago. For Rowdy, that RBI single came back in the top of the second inning. And in fact, he got the offense going for Hyannis. Wolf from the windup. Peers over the glove. Now the full count to Rowdy Jordan. Swung on and fouled back. That was an RBI single off Reed Johnston, Cotuit starter 2 nights ago, who will also be appearing in the All-Star game on Sunday night. RBI single that plated Chad McDaniel from second base. That was part of a 3-run inning for Hyannis. Now the 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Rowdy Jordan strikes out to begin the bottom of the third. Wolf makes it strikeout number 4 on the night. Or rather, strikeout number 3 on the night. That's 3 in a row dating back to the second. And Jordan Westberg's now the hitter as the lineups flip back to the top. So Rowdy Jordan had it at a 3-0 count. But Wolf really worked his way back. Hit a couple of good spots. And then buried one in the dirt, fooling Jordan. Pitch to Westberg. Fastball runs outside. So again, there's some noticeable arm side run in that fastball from the lefty Wolf, as the ball really moves out of the hand with the fastball. And it'll always run toward the left side of the batter's box. Westberg, the right-handed bat, flipping the bat up and down above his right shoulder. 1-0. Checks his swing, but a called strike with the pitch anyway. Count 1-1. Westberg grounded out to second in his first at bat. although he's got a 4-game hitting streak going. 1-1 from Wolf. Swing and a miss. Westberg chases one down low in the dirt, and it runs to 1-2. One hit 2 nights ago with that RBI. Westberg's got 10 on the summer. 8 of those came in his first 20 at-bats. Infield back as Wolf's ready, the 1-2. Just outside. Westberg, a good eye to let it sit. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ian Fair waits on deck with 1 out. Hyannis leading 1-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. As Wolf's ready, the windup in the 2-2. Swung on in a broken bat bloop shot in the shallow right center. In comes Hill. It drops in front of him. Jordan Westberg rounds first. He'll stop there as he picks up a 1-out base knock and makes it a 5-game hitting streak. Hyannis records their 4th hit of the day as Westberg's aboard at first, removing the batting gloves. And as he extends things to a 5-game hitting streak. In steps a guy who's looking to extend a 7-game hit streak to an 8-game hit streak. It'll be Ian Fair, the Northeastern first baseman. He grounded out to short in his first at-bat. Made it pretty tough on Adam Oviedo, as the shortstop had to go to his right to backhand the ball in the hole, and then make a dart of a throw across the diamond, but he did so successfully. Westberg's aboard. Fair bending those knees slightly with a short stance in the plate. In the box as Wolf throws over to first, back safely Westberg. Fair, 3 hits 2 nights ago. 3 and 4 tries. Now the stretch in the first pitch. Breaking ball hits the inside corner, 0-1. And because Fair's been hitting so well, they've moved him all the way up to the number 2 spot. They did that with Jared DeSantillo 2 nights ago, although he's getting the night off tonight. 0-1 the count. Wolf throws over. Jogging back to the bag, Westberg. He's in standing up. So Fair looking to extend the base runner. Hyannis, 1 run on the board, the only one from either side so far. 0-1. Misses down low and away. Count will run to 1 ball, 1 strike. Westberg 7 stolen bases in his 2019 campaign for Mississippi State. He's giving himself a decent lead, about a 2.5 step. And now looking back is Wolf as Westberg will move back to the pillow. Fair outside the box to look at head coach Chad Gassman down the 3rd baseline. Back into the right side. 6-7 lefty Wolf comes set, fires. Ground ball right back to the pitcher. Wolf fires to second for 1, relay to first. That's a double play. 1-6-3 goes the West Virginia Mountaineer Jackson Wolf. Flips to Oviedo covering the bag, then fires to Mervis at first, and that'll end the inning. For Hyannis, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. Through 3 innings of play, it's Hyannis 1, Cotuit 0. We'll be back for the 4th on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. To the top of the fourth we go from McKeon Park. Hyannis leading 1-0 over their rival Cotuit Cavaliers, with Dayton right-hander Cole Pletka back on the mound for inning number 4. He'll face Parker Chavers, Joey Loperfido, and Casey Schmidt. As Chavers digs into the left side, Pletka ready to go. As the righty gets the side, fires home. Swung on and popped up behind home plate. Hackenberg giving it a look, as well as the corner infielders, but it's going to find the crowd. So Chavers was hunting that first pitch fastball. He got it, but he was just a little bit behind it. 0-1 the count. Pletka's cruised through 3 innings. He's given up just 2 hits, no runs, but action still looming in the Hyannis bullpen. 0-1. Misses down low, off speed. Count a run to 1 ball, 1 strike. Kyle Witten, the righty out of the University of Virginia, starting to kick some dirt up on the top of the mound down the left field line in the bullpen. But Pletka, the starter, still working as he's ready with the 1-1. Slap the other way. That's going to fall down the left field line, a base hit. Up with the ball, Hauver. Chavers around first, thinking second. Throw comes in. Servideo on a 1-hop. Tag applied, but not in time. Chavers slides in safely as he picks up a leadoff double to begin the top of the 4th. And Cotuit makes it their 3rd hit of the day, their 3rd double of the day. So Chavers aboard. He's now made it a 1-for-2 evening thus far. Loperfido now the hitter. He'll dig in from the left side. Cole Pletka, the righty, giving up 3 doubles, 1 to Arajanu, 1 to Adam Oviedo, now 1 to Chavers. Facing another left-handed bat, this is Loperfido. Pitch, off speed, misses outside. So Pletka walks back to the mound with the hitter. Loperfido flipping the bat around the zone a couple times. And flew out to center field in his first at bat. Gave it a ride, but right at Rowdy Jordan. Next fastball brushes him off the plate. 2-0. So Loperfido 11 for his first 47 this summer. That comes out to a .234 average. 2 RBIs, but he's got an opportunity with the runner, Parker Chavers, standing at second. Pletka comes set, the 2-0. Swing and a miss, strike 1. So Chavers just slapped one the other way down the left field line. His counterpart, Trevor Hauver, picked it up, moving toward the chalk. Made a strong throw on a relay to Servideo at second base, but came in just a bit late with Chavers sliding in no problem. Righty Pletka ready. 2-1 comes in. Breaking ball low, chested up by Hackenberg. Count will move to 3 balls, 1 strike. So Loperfido taking a second outside the box. So flip the bat around the zone a pair of times. Now he's into a dance. Westberg shading the runner. Now Pletka delivers home. Swung on and drilled. Deep right center. Rowdy Jordan, nothing but a spectator. Forget about it. 2-run missile off the bat of Joey Loperfido. His 2nd home run on the campaign. RBIs number 3 and 4. And it makes it 2-1 Cavaliers in the top of the 4th inning. Loperfido put that ball into orbit. Right out into the jet stream in right center, but he didn't need a slick of the wind. And now Chad Gassman's going to make his way out to the mound. This is the first real mistake Pletka's made all day. But that's all Chad Gassman's going to see. He signals the right arm to the bullpen. And it looks like the right-hander Kyle Witten's going to enter the ballgame with nobody out in the top of the 4th. So Pletka's day over. He'll exit after 3+, ended by a 2-run shot off the bat of Joey Loperfido. With that, we'll take a break and bring you back on the other side. It's Cotuit 2, Hyannis 1 in the top of the 4th on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Bring you back for the top of the fourth at McKeon Park, and with nobody down, Cotuit now leading 2-1 after the Joey Loperfido 2-run blast. Hyannis turns to the right-hander Kyle Witten out of the University of Virginia. Righty, up out of the windup, working from the right side of the rubber. He's taking a long look in at the catcher Hackenberg. Ready with the first pitch. Swing and a miss from Casey Schmidt. It's 0-1. So Kyle Witten enters the ball game, making his 9th appearance of the summer. He's thrown 11 2/3 innings. Struck out 8. He's walked 10. As the righty ready. Kicks the leg, fires home. Fastball misses down. And his last 2 appearances, he's looked really sharp. His last 2 appearances have equated to 4 innings. In total, he's given up 1 run on 1 hit, walked 3, struck out 2. He now kicks and delivers the 1-1, swinging a pop-up foul right side. This will get out of play. So Schmidt will take a loop around the box. He'll adjust the left batting glove, now the right, as Witten rubs a baseball out behind the rubber. Schmidt digging back in. Infield playing back. Servideo, the second baseman, shifted a little bit toward the bag. Now the 1-2 from Witten. Fastball way up high, airmails it over Hackenberg. It gets to the backstop. Count will be 2 balls and 2 strikes. So for Cole Pletka, his day ends after 3+ innings of work. Gives up 4 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned. Walked 1, struck out 3. Now the pitch. Swung on and laced into shallow center. Rowdy Jordan comes in, lines it up, and makes the catch at the neck-high level. So Schmidt retired. That's the first out of the 4th. It'll bring up Cam Hill. So Pletka looked really sharp through his first 3 innings. Had only given up those 2 hits. They were a pair of doubles to Araj Anu and Adam Oviedo. Each coming in separate innings at that. Anu's in the first, Oviedo's in the third. As Witten fires home to Cam Hill, swung on and grounded right at the first baseman fair. Fields cleanly, takes it to the bag, and he wins the foot race for the second out. So back-to-back quick putouts for Kyle Witten put 2 on the board in the top of the 4th. It'll bring up Colton Kessler, the Kentucky catcher. But the 4th inning came back to get Pletka, with that home run from Joey Loperfido ultimately ending his night. Kessler's going to take time to step out of the box. Dig back in. As Witten gets the sign from Hackenberg. First pitch. Swing and a high pop-up. Foul ground on the left side. This chases the third baseman Olsen to his right, now back to his left, and he makes the catch underhand to end the inning. So Olsen might have overran it a little bit, but didn't have a problem coming back to his left and ultimately makes the grab. That ends the top of the 4th. Kyle Witten comes into the game and retires the Cotuit lineup 1-2-3. But the Kettleers still get 2 runs on 2 hits. The big one, the Joey Loperfido 2-run home run. Also no errors, nobody left on. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. When we come back, it's Cotuit 2, Hyannis 1 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Heart of the Harbor Hawks lineup coming to the plate in the bottom of the fourth inning. It'll be Trevor Hauver, Hunter Goodman, and Jackson Olsen, the 3-4-5, with left-hander Jackson Wolf back on the mound. Lefty set to face the left-handed hitting Hauver from Arizona State. Wolf, the 6'7 southpaw, gets set, fires home. It's a fastball in. Comes in at 89 miles an hour to brush Hauver off the plate. 1-0. Trevor today, 1-for-1 with a run scored. Singled in the first and came around to score on the Goodman RBI double. Pitch, fastball misses low and away. So Hauver's the one run to score thus far today for Hyannis. And looking to make an impact again to begin the bottom of the fourth inning. Hyannis now trails for the first time tonight. 2-run shot from Low Perfido gave Cotuit the 2-1 edge. Pitch slapped into left field. That's going to fall quickly. A base hit. One hops the left fielder Chavers. Picks it up, tosses it back in as Hauver stops at first. And the Sun Devil has his second hit of the night. So one aboard with nobody out. That'll bring up Hunter Goodman. And Trevor Hauver does a really nice job taking that ball the other way. Stays with it, saw it deep in the zone. Just slapped it into left field. So Goodman now the hitter. He wiggles the bat just above his right shoulder as Wolf's ready, fires over to first. Hauver had maybe a 6-inch lead as he just steps his left foot back onto the bag. Hauver had a 2-hit game just 4 nights ago. It was a 2-0 loss against Falmouth, but he picked up a 2-hit day in 3 tries. Pitch. Fastball hits the bottom of the zone. It's 0-1. Goodman today, also, of course, the 1 hit. He's driven in the 1 run. And it was this exact same lineup. Pitch. Misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Or same alignment, rather. Hauver was aboard at first after picking up a single. Goodman came into the plate. And he's just absolutely laced one off the wall in right center. Now the 1-1. Swung on and hit high down the right side, chasing Mervis back, but he's just going to give it a look as it falls out of play. So Goodman falls behind to 1-2. He'll adjust the batting gloves. And again, he had a 4 RBI lead of his runs batted in total. He still leads the league, and it helps him out a little bit after picking up that first inning RBI. But he had just a 1 RBI lead in front of Nico Cavadas entering today. Next pitch, swung on and fouled out, up and out of play. Nico Cavadas coming into today, the corner infielder for the Harwich Mariners, had 25 runs batted in. Nick Gonzalez, the Cotuit second baseman, who's currently removed his glove and walking around the second base area, has 24 RBIs. But Goodman's now created a little bit more space with his 27th. Now the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Goodman chases a fastball high and away, comes up empty. There's 1 out in the inning. So this will bring up Jackson Olsen, Hartford third baseman, who so far today has grounded out to short. A little bit of a preview. Stick around for the 5th inning. We'll have a special guest on for an interview here on the broadcast. It'll be former Hyannis Mets PA announcer, Dr. Mark Schur. Olsen now the left-handed hitting infielder. Watches the lefty Jackson Wolf fire over to first base. Hauver's back, no problem. So Olsen looking to pick up a hit here against the lefty. They've put the shift on him with the third baseman Schmidt coming in on the lip of the infield grass. Oviedo, the shortstop, up the middle. Offering, fastball low and away. As Olsen stays inside the box, now moves slightly out to put the right hand to the top of his helmet. He's hitting .242 as he enters this at bat. Hauver a fairly short lead at first, being held on by Mervis. Now the offering, ground ball left side, past the backhand of the third baseman Schmidt into left field. Hauver moves up to second. Olsen stops at first, and Hyannis has their second hit of the inning as Olsen picks up a 1-out single the opposite way. That'll bring up Brooks Carlson with 2 aboard, 1 down. So Carlson already singled once today. Got off to a good start, but ended up trying to steal second and was thrown out by the catcher, Colton Kessler. Time's called as Kessler's up on the mound to have a meeting with the lefty, Jackson Wolf. Now, if you were to look at what Wolf's done up to this point in the season, he's looked really, really good. And not to take any credit away from him, because he has. Entered the day 18 and 2/3 innings pitched with a 2.89 ERA. And in no appearance this year has he given up any more than 2 earned runs. But put a little bit of an asterisk next to it, because those are all official outings. As Carlson digs into the right side of the box, lefty Wolf's ready to go as he comes set, glove just above the belt. Checks the runner Hover at second, being held on by Gonzalez, throws that way, and Trevor ducks, moving back to the bag as Wolf gave a hard pickoff move, with Hover only getting about a step of a lead. But he's back no problem. So in his last outing, it went unofficial, but Wolf had to face off with the Harwich Mariners. As he comes set, fires to Carlson, misses low, 1-0 the count. And in that start, Harwich absolutely lit him up. Going into the fourth inning, the Mariners were up 12-0 on the Kettleers. I mean, it was as one-sided of a game as you could possibly find. And now the 1-0. Carlson swings and fouls one back. So Wolf just didn't have his best stuff that day. As a result, the Harwich offense jumped all over him. But it didn't count as an official start, because before the official play could be completed of 5 innings, the game was called due to rain. So a blessing for the left-hander Wolf, who doesn't have that start go into the scorebook. An absolute curse for the Harwich Ball Club. 1-1. Ground ball left side, fielded by Oviedo, bobbles it for a sec, flips to second for one, throw to first, gets by the first baseman Mervis. Here comes Hover from third. He steps on the plate without a throw, and the Harbor Hawks tie things up at 2. So a fielder's choice and an error from the second baseman Nick Gonzalez helps the Harbor Hawks plate their second run of the day. Hover was moving to third on the ground ball to shortstop. Oviedo had to move a little bit to his right, fielded it out in front, but then bobbled it for just a split second. He flipped to Gonzalez, covering the bag at second for one, but the return throw to first was wide to the left of Matthew Mervis, and it skipped to the Cotuit dugout area to plate Hover. So now Brooks Carlson at first base. Servideo the hitter, as Wolf's just going to throw over. Brooks is back safely. So as a result, Jackson Olsen wiped off the bases. He was the man retired on the fielder's choice. But Hover came around to score from second base. No RBI for Carlson. As the pitch comes into Servideo, it's a called strike. 1-1 the count. So a 6-4 fielder's choice and an E4. Plates Hover. And Carlson stands at first with the game deadlocked at 2. Lefty Wolf comes set, fires to Servideo down low. 2-1 the count with 2 down. But again, back to that Wolf unofficial start. It really helped him out once again, really hurt Harwich. When you look at where the Mariners are at right now, they're fighting for a playoff spot. They were in last place for a good chunk of the summer. They finally jumped over the Brewster Whitecaps to propel themselves into 4th place. They currently sit with 30 points, 3 ahead of Brewster, as Wolf quickly stepped off the mound. Now he's back on. So that would have been an additional win for the Mariners. It'll be wiped away and now made up at a later date, starting from scratch. 2-1. Breaking ball hits the outside corner. It's 2-2. And Cotuit doesn't pick up a loss as a result. And because of it, they currently sit at first place in the West Division. They're tied in points with the Wareham Gatemen, but Cotuit just edging them out in the tiebreaker. 2-2, just outside ball 3. 91-mile-an-hour fastball ran just off the plate from the lefty Wolf. And Servideo, a guy who sure can walk a lot, has himself one pitch away from extending the inning. Servideo with 14 walks on the summer. The stretch and the 3-2 on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 5th strikeout of the night for the lefty Wolf as he fans Servideo for the second time. And that ends the bottom of the 4th. For Hyannis in the inning, 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, 1 left on. It's 2-2 through 4 innings of play. And once again, stick around for the top of the 5th with the special guest interview coming up. Harbor Hawks and Kettleers knotted up at 2 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. To the top of the fifth we go from McKeon Park. Things are deadlocked at 2 between Hyannis and Cotuit, with the 9-1 and 2 of the Kettleers lineup set to come to the plate. No guest interview yet. We'll have that for you as soon as we can, but it'll be Adam Oviedo, the former TCU shortstop, digging in for his second plate appearance, first against the righty Kyle Witten. Fires home, swing and a lofty line drive out to left center field. It drops in front of Rowdy Jordan, a base hit. So 1 pitch, 1 hit to start the top of the fifth for Cotuit as Adam Oviedo picks up his second hit of the night. And that'll bring up Nick Gonzalez, the leadoff man, with nobody out, 1 aboard. So a 2-hit night for the former Horned Frog Oviedo. He's halfway to the cycle, of course, completing the much easier half of it. Doubled back in the top of the third. Singled to begin the top of the fifth. And now the ever-dangerous Nick Gonzalez steps in for plate appearance number 3. First time seeing Kyle Witten, who throws over to first. Back no problem, Oviedo. Gonzalez, 2 groundouts so far today. We'll see how long that trend stays. It is hard to keep this guy off the base paths. Witten working from the stretch. Sets and fires. Swinging a pop-up right side. Fair chasing back to his left. Hat falls off, but he watches it tail toward the street, just to the right of McKeon Park, out of play. Gonzalez will step out of the box to readjust the batting gloves. Witten will get a new ball back up on the mound. So Gonzalez 0 for 2 today. But that brings his average down to a minuscule, quotations, 348. Now the offering from Witten, called strike, and the count runs to 0-2. So Witten works ahead of the dangerous Nick Gonzalez. He's gotten him to foul one off, and then he puts a fastball at the bottom of the zone to work ahead. Again, Gonzalez really not a guy that strikes out a whole lot either. Witten comes set, checks the runner at first. Now the stretch in the 0-2. Fastball up high, sailed over the mid of the catcher Hackenberg, and Oviedo's going to trot down 90 feet. He moves to second base. Witten just let that one loose a little bit too early. And as a result, Cotuit has another runner in scoring position. Oviedo's been at second base once already today after that double. But he was eventually stranded there after Cole Pletka got the hitter at the plate right now, Gonzalez, to ground out to shorten his second at bat. And after a walk to Matthew Mervis, he got a Rajanu to fly out to Trevor Hauver in left field. So 1-2 the count with nobody out. 2-2 the score in the top of the fifth inning. Righty Witten comes set. Now the stretch in the 1-2. Gonzalez watches one just away. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. So Gonzalez kicking some dirt. Count will run even to the New Mexico State product. And Witten, who's the right-hander out of Virginia, looking for his first out of the inning. Righty gets the sign from Hackenberg. He comes set, stretching the 2-2. Line drive into short center field. That's going to fall in front of Jordan, a base hit. Oviedo gets the stop sign around third. He hits the brakes, comes back to the bag, and just like that, like you said, can't keep Gonzalez off the base paths forever. He records his first base knock of the ball game. Makes it a 1 for 3 day thus far as he puts runners on the corners with nobody out. So first 2 runners reach on singles to the outfield. Oviedo stands at third base. Gonzalez at first base. Now the hitter Matthew Mervis digging in from the left side. This is plate appearance number 3. He's grounded out to first, also walked and was stranded at first. Witten gets the sign from Hackenberg, the offering. Swung on and popped foul off the netting behind home plate. So 2-2 the score. Each club with 6 hits to this point. The infield playing back, not worrying about the runner Oviedo at third. They're more concerned about the potential double play. Gonzalez, who has some speed on the base paths, getting a short lead at first. Witten throws back, but Gonzalez slides head first into the bag safely. So Gonzalez, as potent as he's been offensively all season, has also swiped 5 bags. That ranks second on the team, only behind Cam Hill, the center fielder tonight. Witten throws over again, a high throw, but fair catches it no problem. Gonzalez diving back again. So runners on first and third. Nobody out. Witten looking to induce some ground ball contact. Mervis with 11 RBIs on the year. He's looking to break a 2-2 deadlock here in the fifth. Now the 0-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. Gonzalez taking off for second. Hackenberg pump fakes, but doesn't give a throw. Gonzalez slides in no problem. So no double play in depth anymore, as Cotuit puts 2 runners on scoring position. And there's men at second and third with nobody away. So Witten just buried a breaking ball in the dirt. It was chested up by Hackenberg. But Gonzalez gave a good down angle read to take off for second base and got in without a throw. Mervis with a 1-1 count. Nobody out. Is Witten ready? The offering. Down low. Hackenberg keeps it in front again. 2 balls, 1 strike. These teams tied at 2 in their 5th matchup of the season. 1 more to go. That'll take place tomorrow out at Lowell Park. And Cotuit once again. 4-0 currently in the series. Hyannis looking to pick up a home win off the Cotuit squad. Witten's 2-1. Fastball just up high. That one comes in at 87 miles an hour, but couldn't quite put it inside the strike zone. Still some wind blowing out toward right center. Not as much of a jet stream as there was earlier on in the ballgame. But sun's starting to set, lights starting to flip on just slightly from Kean Park. And another righty getting loose in the bullpen for Hyannis. Witten still working out of the stretch, the 3-1. Fastball misses just away. That loads the bases. Mervis draws his second walk of the night. And it brings up power threat Araj Anu with the bases juiced, nobody out. So Anu already with a hit today. He scorched a double down the right field line. Also flew out to left to end the top of the third. Switch hitting product from Kentucky. Hitting from the left side against the righty Witten. Jackson Olsen, the third baseman, playing just about even with the bag at third now. There is a force out at the plate with the bases loaded. The Virginia Cavalier Witten stretch fires home, fastball down. So 15 RBIs for Anu to go along with 4 long balls, even if he hasn't had the average to show for it this summer. Power threat, who currently sits at 183. Witten, 1-0. Swing and a miss, that evens the count. Anu went chasing after a high fastball up over the letters. But the middle infield playing back, and they're shifted a bit up the middle. Westberg to his left, Servideo to his right. Double play, of course, still intact. And Witten working out of the stretch, the 1-1. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. Count will move to 1-2. So Cotuit already with a home run tonight. That came off the bat of Joey Loperfido, and no doubter back in the top of the 4th. And that was Cotuit's 30th home run of the summer. Still ranking more than good for first in the league. Witten taking a long pause. Despite the bases being loaded, opting to keep the short slide step out of the stretch. Now the 1-2. Line drive up the middle, gets into center field, a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Gonzalez from second. No throw to the plate. He scores as well. It's an RBI single for Araj Anu. 2 come home to score as the Kentucky product picks up RBI 16 and 17 as the Kettleers go up 4-2 in the top of the 5th inning. So Parker Chavers now the hitter. Runners on first and second as Mervis advanced 90 feet on the play. And Mike Roberts walking down the third base line toward home plate, calling for time, and they might opt to get a pinch hit bat off the bench. Or it's going to be a pinch runner, rather. Mason McWhorter is going to come into the game to replace Araj Anu. So his day will end after going 2 for 3. A double, a single, and 2 RBIs as he walks back to the first base dugout. He's going to get high fives all around from his teammates. McWhorter, who came in as a substitute 2 nights ago, pinch hit for Casey Schmidt and ended up going 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs himself. Is now into the game as a pinch runner. But head coach Chad Gassman's going to call time, make his way out to the bullpen. This could be the end of Witten's day. Patrick Fredrickson, the righty out of Minnesota, getting loose down in the bullpen. And we'll see what the head coach opts to do for the Harbor Hawks. Long conversation up on the mound. The entire infield's come in. And now they're going to signal to the bullpen to get Fredrickson. So Witten's day is going to end. His line's still open after going over an inning pitch, giving up 3 hits, 1 walk, no strikeouts. And as Fredrickson enters the game, Cotuit leads by a score of 4-2 in the top of the 5th. We'll be back on the other side of the break on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back at McKeon Park for the top of the 5th as the right-hander Patrick Fredrickson enters the game with 2 on, nobody down, and he's set to face the new hitter Parker Chavers as the righty looks back to second base, Mervis back to the bag. And with that, we're joined by a special guest, Dr. Mark Schurer. Comes from Coronado, California, one of the founders of what was formerly the Hyannis Mets all the way back in 1978. Mark, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So Fredrickson gets ready. The first pitch to the hitter, Chavers, is popped up, left side foul. That'll get out of play. So you spent a lot of time here. What brings you back this summer to come and visit?
Well, I like to come back every 2 or 3 years at least to see the old places and catch a Hawks game.
You been enjoying it so far this summer?
Yeah, it's been nice.
Fredrickson ready with the 0-1. Chavers, the left-handed bat from Coastal Carolina. As the righty from Minnesota fires home. Fly ball out to deep right field. Goodman back, looks up, it's gone. Parker Chavers, a 3-run shot. He's blown this game open in the top of the 5th. Chavers' 5th home run of the season. RBIs, number 15, 16, and 17. And it's 7-2 Cavaliers here in the top of the 5th inning. So Chavers steps on the plate, gets helmet taps all around. And Cotuit's out to a 7-2 lead over Hyannis. Well, that's your one way to get you on the broadcast, Mark.
Yeah, that was impressive.
That one was absolutely scorched out to the right of the scoreboard through the first line of trees as Cotuit now leads by 5. It brings up Joey Loperfido, the man who's already punched a home run tonight. Fredrickson the windup. First offering. Breaking ball hits the outside corner. It's 0-1. Now, Mark, of course, these two teams have some historic rivalry. Back when you were here, was it still pretty fierce between the two, or is that more new?
It was definitely a big rivalry back then, and looks like it still is.
Did they call it the Patriot Cup all the way back then?
No, I didn't hear that.
So
this
that's
was 40 years ago.
okay. The 0-2 slap foul behind home plate. Counted 0-2 to the hitter, Joey Loperfido. Well, Mark, if you like to be informed, the rivalry's been called the Patriot Cup now because the two towns of Hyannis and Cotuit share a newspaper, the Barnstable newspaper, and that's how the actual name of the series rivalry began, as Frederickson misses in with a fastball. And now there's actually a trophy presented at the end of each season. And Cotuit's won the last couple of them, but Hyannis still looking to get him back.
Okay.
1-2. And misses down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. So when you come up here, do you have a house up here in the Cape in Hyannis?
No, I would love to, but no, we just stay at a rental. You know, we're only here a week every few years. So.
And you grew up around here, right? You attended.
I attended Barnstable, and I knew Frank Green, the old manager, and I was the PA announcer for 2 seasons, 79 and 1980.
Now the 2-2 from Frederickson. Swing and a miss from Loperfido, strike 3. The right-hander Patrick Frederickson picks up his first strikeout of the night. There's one down in the top of the 5th. And going back to your time as a PA announcer, Mark, now Hyannis, 1978, 1979, back-to-back Cape Cod League champions. So you got to witness one of them right out in person, didn't you?
I did.
And what was that experience like, getting to see these group of guys, or of course, so many different guys back then, but win the title and just celebrate an elation up on the mound as Frederickson fires home, it misses away. But that's got to be such a cool thing to see a Cape League title, right?
It was, and it was the I think the most winningest team in Cape League history, the Mets at the time.
As Frederickson's ready. 1-0 on the way. Fastball hits the bottom of the zone. It's 1-1. Were there still 10 teams back in the league then, or was there less?
It was the same. I believe it was the same.
10 teams. But teams have kind of shifted locations around over the last few years or so. Like, for example, was there a team in Wareham back when you played? So the pitch misses down.
There was.
So there was still a team in Wareham. Okay. Because I know there was a team in Sandwich out for a while, and maybe a couple others. But that's cool. That's cool to know there was still 10 teams back then, and still league still running well.
Yeah. No. Still it.
Now the 2-1 slap foul to the left side. 2-2 with 1 out. Cotuit leading 7-2. And I know this is probably a loaded question, but from what you saw back in 1979, 1980, fast forwarding now to 2019, what's the biggest change you've noticed? Again, a loaded question.
Much better facilities.
2-2 swing and a miss, 2 away. But yeah, I can imagine a lot of things have gotten better since the late 1970s.
Yeah, it was much more amateur than it. This is much more professional.
It's funny you say that because, I mean, these guys play on high school fields, and almost all these facilities are occupied by other schools and high schools during the season, but it's still kind of got the good balance of both as Frederickson fires home. Check swing, grounded up the third base line from the hitter, Cameron Hill. Olson throws across, and that ends the inning. So after the top of the 5th concludes, Cotuit puts up 5 runs, making it 7-2 through 4.5 innings of play. Mark, we'll keep you on for the bottom of the 5th after we take a short break. It's Kettleer 7, Hyannis 2 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. We'll go to the bottom of the fifth here from McKeon Park in Hyannis. Cotuit up 7-2 after putting up a 5 spot in the top of the fifth. They've scored 7 runs over their last 2 to go out to a 5-run advantage. And with that, Cotuit head coach Mike Roberts opts to go to the bullpen and bring in the right-hander Richard Brereton out of Emory. Right-hander stands at 6'1", 200 pounds, set to face catcher Adam Hackenberg as he fires home, swing and a miss, strike 1. Pleased to have Dr. Mark Scherer back on the broadcast for the bottom of the fifth. And Mark, as we were just kind of alluding to before the inning ended, we're talking about how it feels so much more professional now, and you talked about how much it's kind of changed as Brereton nods to the catcher Kessler, fires home to Hackenberg as he checks his swing and goes around. Count makes it 0-2. But it's kind of a cool balance of both because you said it feels so much more professional now, but they're not playing in stadiums. They're not playing with, say, 20,000 people entering the stadium. It's still kind of got that natural young kid kind of flow to it, which is, I think, the nice balance of both that you can find in summer ball.
I agree 100%, and it's very entertaining.
So Hackenberg punches out for the first out of the inning. But talking about back then, were crowds as big as they are now, bigger?
No, not as big. No, maybe half.
So that's been a big involvement of the league too, is in terms of like how popular it's gotten, the amount of people that like to show up to the games.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and it's a tremendous source of entertainment for summer residents.
So Rowdy Jordan digging from the left side of the box now with 1 away against the new arm Richard Brereton, who's an infielder by trade but can also pitch. Now the offering. Fastball hits the outside corner, strike 1. Now how about this? When you were up here in your 2 years as a PA announcer, off the top of your memory, who was the best player you saw play out here in the Cape?
Ron Perry.
Ron Perry. I don't know if the name rings the bell off the top of the head, but pitch to Jordan. Line drive up the middle, moving to his left Oviedo. Behind the bag, fires to first in time, and there's 2 down. Maybe that's a little past my time, and I mean, I'm only 21 years of age. But here, to the people who don't know, who was Ron Perry?
He was a shortstop out of Holy Cross College who had, I just found out, the highest batting average of any player in Cape League history that played more than 1 season.
What was that batting average? Do you remember?
I was like 397.
397, wow. Because there was a couple kids up here hitting 400 for quite some time. Of course, it goes down as the season progresses. As Westberg swings away. Ground ball to the second baseman, Gonzalez. Fields cleanly, flips to first. That'll end the inning. Well, Mark, we thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate the time, and we hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Hyannis and Cotuit, 7-2 Kettleers lead through 5 innings of play. We'll be back for the top of the 6th when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. To the top of the 6th we go from McKeon Park in Hyannis with the right-hander Patrick Fredrickson back on the mound. He's set to face the Cotuit lineup and hitter Colton Kessler, the Kentucky catcher. 8-9-1 coming to the plate. Kettleers lead 7-2 as Fredrickson came on to end the 5th inning. The right-hander rocks and fires home. Fastball for a called strike. So Kyle Witten came on to relieve Cole Pletka after 3+ innings. Witten went 1 inning, and his night was ended there. As Fredrickson's ready, working from the windup. Now Roxon deals the 0-1. Fastball inside, called strike. 0-2. So Witten's final line, 3 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned. 1 walk and no strikeouts. when Fredrickson came into the game, one of those runs was credited to him. That was the Parker Chavers 3-run home run. 0-2. Fastball high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So, of course, the man that Patrick faced at the plate, the run was credited to him. But as Witten came out of the ball game with 2 guys on base, those were his responsibility. Fredrickson's 1-2. Down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. So Kessler's going to step out. Adjust the batting gloves outside the left-handed batter's box. And he'll dig back in. So Hyannis had a 1-0 lead going into the top of the 4th inning. A 2-run shot from Joey Loperfido. Wash that away. Pitch. Breaking ball. Called strike 3. Good breaking ball as Fredrickson flips that one over. So Kessler retired. Fredrickson makes it the second strikeout of the night. Or make it third. And there's 1 down for the hitter, Adam Oviedo. But the Kettleers really put up an offensive showcase back in the 5th. Hyannis tied it up at 2-2 after an error from Nick Gonzalez on a fielder's choice plated Trevor Hauver. Pitch. This is down low, 1-0. Kettleers in that inning scored 5 runs. Well, it was 4 hits, no errors. They left nobody on. And the killer in that inning, of course, the 3-run shot from Chavers. That was Chavers' 5th home run of the summer. He now sits at 17 RBIs. And Cotuit as a team has really haunted Hyannis this year, but specifically Parker Chavers has done his job. Pitch from Fredrickson, fastball hits the outside corner. Or really done his due diligence. Back at Lowell Park a couple weeks ago, Chavers hit one of the longer home runs of the summer. That one was into the 3rd line of trees out at Lowell Park. I mean, he knew it from the second it left his bat. 1-1, fastball down. The one tonight was a little less certain, but didn't take him long to realize. A dead missile on a line to the right of the scoreboard and into the middle of the trees on an absolute rope. Now Fredrickson's 2-1. Fastball misses away. So Chavers again, 5 home runs on the summer. He's had 2 against Hyannis. In fact, 3 of his last 4 have come against Hyannis. Now the 3-1 from Fredrickson. Misses outside, and he loses the hitter Oviedo. So the former TCU product reaches base for the 3rd time tonight. He's doubled, singled, and now he's walked. And it'll bring up Nick Gonzalez to the top of the lineup. Gonzalez 1 for 3 with a run scored. Fredrickson out of the stretch. Fires the offering. Breaking ball low. 1 ball, no strikes. So the runner at first, Oviedo. Reached base all 3 times, being held on by Ian Fair. As Fredrickson gets the sign, he looks in at the hitter Gonzalez after checking the runner. Now the 1-0. Outside fastball, throw down to first by Hackenberg. It takes Fair to his left, but he keeps the ball in front of him, making the snag. So Hackenberg tried to backpick the runner Oviedo. The throw sailed a little bit wide of Fair, but a nice athletic play to save it from going down the right field line. Gonzalez digging back into the box. He grounded out his first 2 times, was held in check then, but finally broke through with a single back in the 5th. 2-0. Swing and a fly ball. Deep right center field. Rowdy Jordan back. Still going at the wall. It's gone! Nick Gonzalez, my goodness, he is scorching hot. 2-run blast, his 7th of the summer. RBIs 25 and 26 make it 9-2 Cotuit in the top of the 6th inning. This guy is unbelievable. Fist bumps and helmet taps all around as he makes his way back to the first base side of the dugout. Oh my goodness. That ball was on a dead rope to straightaway center field. It sent Jordan racing back. He flashed the numbers. And now you got a couple young fans searching for the ball out there as the pitch to Parker Chavers misses down. So Gonzalez has proved every doubter and hater wrong that he's had since coming up to the Cape League. The pitch, swinging a foul back, it's 1-1. So Nick Gonzalez, here's a kid who really shouldn't have had that many question marks coming in. The only reason he did is because he plays in a small conference. He plays in the WAC, a conference that's not a Power 5, sends minimal teams to the tournament every year. The 1-1 comes in, it misses down. That didn't stop him. For a lot of the season, Nick Gonzalez was hitting above 500 during school ball. He finished the season at 432. That led the entire nation. As Fredrickson's ready, the 2-1. Fastball misses upstairs. So he led the entire nation in batting average. Every Vanderbilt, Michigan, Louisville type player you want to name off, nobody hit higher than Gonzalez. Now the 3-1. Inside fastball, he loses Mervis. So he walks down to first base with a 9-2 lead for Cotuit. There's 1 on with 1 out, and now Chad Gassman's going to come out to the mound. This could end Fredrickson's night. So Gassman making the walk out, the infielders coming in, and it looks like they're going to opt to go to the bullpen. It's the right-hander Joe Quintal jogging his way in from the left field line, and he'll relieve the Minnesota right-hander on the other side of the break. Cotuit has blown it open, to say the least, in the 6th inning. 9-2 Kettleers. We'll be back on the other side of the break on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back at McKeon Park to resume the top of the 6th, and Cotuit has made it 9-2, have scored 9 runs in the last 3 innings. And it brings up Mason McWhorter, who came in to pinch hit for a Rajanu with the righty Joe Quintal on the mound. Righty stretches and fires. McWhorter swings through a fastball. It's 0-1. So for Joe Quintal, the righty out of Fordham, he's set to make appearance number 5 on the summer. This will be his 3rd outing in relief. Hasn't pitched since July the 1st at Cotuit. 0-1. Good fastball at the bottom of the zone. It's 0-2. Quintal in the season, 0-1. ERA over 9. He's thrown 8 2/3 innings, walked 4, struck out 7. Mervis the lead off of first after being issued the walk by Patrick Fredrickson. 0-2. Line drive into right field. That's going to fall a base hit. Goodman moving to his left, now up with the ball. Spins, fires back into the infield, and moving from first to third, no problem, will be Matthew Mervis. So McWhorter comes in and makes an immediate impact in his first at-bat of the night. 1 out, single down the right field line. Puts runners on the corners for Parker Chavers. And my goodness, did Chavers make an impact his last time around. 3-run bomb. Got out of here in the blink of an eye. Just to the right of the scoreboard in right center field. He'll face Quintal for the first time. As Joe, the stretch now offers. Sweeping breaking baller. Drops from 12 to 6 rather, as it's 0-1. That one started high, had some good bite to it. It just froze Chavers for the first strike. 0-1 with 1 out. Cotuit leading 9-2 with runners on the corners. The infield playing back. Pitch down low with a breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jordan Westberg, the shortstop, as well as second baseman Anthony Servideo, played playing toward the second base bag. Westberg to his left, Servideo to his right. The double play intact with the runner McWhorter at first. 1-1 from Quintal. Good fastball in the outside corner. It's 1-2. Well, the 2 runs that have been put up this inning, as time's going to be called. It looks like McWhorter's kicking some dirt in the base path. Maybe there's a little bit of a divot between first and second. But the 2 runs put up this inning was on a 2-run blast to dead center from New Mexico State second baseman Nick Gonzalez. As Quintal's ready, the stretch in the 1-2. Outside and the count levels. But Gonzalez, who came into the day hitting .355, was 0 for his first 2. Talked about can't keep him in check for too long. And that was more than the case tonight. He's recorded hits in his last 2 at-bats as Quintal fires home, breaking ball low. Count runs to 3 balls, 2 strikes. But Nick Gonzalez, what a summer this guy's had. 7 home runs. That's now second by himself in the Cape League. And he leads, or is in the top 5 in almost every offensive category. 3-2 to Chavers, swing and a miss, strike 3. Quintal records his first strikeout of the night as Chavers is sent down. And it'll bring up Joey Loperfido with 2 on, 2 down. So Quintal first punch out. But back to Gonzalez. Again, a lot of people kind of scratched their head and wondered how good can this kid be? Sure, he hit .432. He led the nation in average. But he played in a conference that wasn't Power 5. Didn't send any teams to the tournament. In fact, New Mexico State finished first, 38-17 on the year. The pitch comes in, low ball 1. But Gonzalez has hit and hit and hit from the moment he stepped on the elbow of Massachusetts. And once again, as a result, he was 3rd in the league in average entering today's play. As Quintal fires home, swing and a miss. Ball gets by the catcher, Hackenberg, to the backstop. Here comes the runner from third. He scores no problem. Mervis steps on the plate, makes it the 10th run of the day for Cotuit. And they lead 10-2 with McWhorter advancing to second. So Quintal gets a new baseball, will walk back to the mound. It's a 1-1 count to the hitter Loperfido, who today 1 for 3 with a 2-run homer. But my goodness, Nick Gonzalez, again, first team All-WAC in 2019. He was the WAC Freshman of the Year in 2018. As Gonzalez is ready, or rather, Quintal's ready. 1-1, breaking ball, swing and a miss. But as we're over halfway through the season and entering the final stretch of play, one more time, there's no question this guy's on the short list for the Cape League MVP. And in fact, to this point, he might be the favorite. Again, came into today's play hitting .355. Tied for second in the Cape in home runs as the pitch to the hitter Loperfido slapped foul down the left field line. So he is still in a tie. Tyler Hardman of Brewster has 7 home runs, much like Gonzalez. Nico Cavadas of Harwich leads with 8. As Loperfido broke his bat on that foul ball, he's going to walk back to the dugout to get a new piece of lumber. But reading off the rest of the Nick Gonzalez stats, he came into today's game, once again 3rd in average, 1st in hits, tied for 1st in doubles, now tied for 2nd in home runs. And he's also just hit the cover off the ball every chance he's got. He was 3rd in RBIs as well coming into today's play. He had 24. Now you can push it up to 26. Think for Hunter Goodman's sake, that RBI back in the 1st has kept him in the lead. Now the 1-2 to Loperfido, swing and a miss, strike 3. Joe Quintal sets down the Duke product Loperfido to end the inning. But Cotuit piles it on again, this time in the 6th. A 3 spot from the Kettleers. And as a result, they lead 10-2 through 5.5 frames. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Hyannis coming back to the plate on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Harbor Hawks send up Ian Fair, Trevor Hover, and Hunter Goodman to the plate. The 2-3-4 as Cotuit has blown this game open over the last couple of innings. 10-2 the score, with Fair coming to the plate looking to extend a 7-game hitting streak. 0 for 2 so far today, as Richard Brereton, the right-hander, is back on the mound, fires the first pitch. Fair checks his swing at a fastball low. Appeal down, and he goes around. First base umpire Jim Finesca says he flicked the wrists, and as a result, it's 0-1. So Fair looking out at the mound. Pitcher Brereton, who gets the sign, fires home. Fastball low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hyannis was sent down in order last inning. Hackenberg strikeout. Rowdy Jordan ground out. Jordan Westberg ground out. But Cotuit, last 3 innings, have put up all 10 of their runs. 2 in the 4th, 5 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th. And now the 1-1 to Fair. Breaking ball. Chops foul to the left side, fielded by head coach Chad Gassman in the third base coaching box. So Ian Fair, who has had doubles in now 4 of his last 5 games. 7-game hitting streak entering tonight. Facing the right-hander Richard Brereton with the infield back. Nobody out. Some fog starting to come in over McKeon Park. 1-2. Line drive into right center field, moving over low. Perfido dives, and he makes the grab. So Ian Fair, that hitting streak might have to wait another at bat. Low Perfido takes potentially an extra base hit away from him. Moving to his right and right center. Makes a dive and comes up with the baseball for the first out of the inning. And Ian Fair absolutely scorched it the other way, but Low Perfido was playing it perfectly. Shifted way out to his right in the gap. And as a result, it's going to bring up Trevor Hover. Ian Fair's got some good opposite field power as well. We saw him with that double back in the 8th inning at Harwich a few nights ago. That one almost got out of the ballpark at a big ballpark like White House Field with some large dimensions. First pitch to Hover. This is outside, ball 1. But Fair, a guy who once again came in with his second stint in Hyannis, was around for just about a week before he was let go. Spent a couple of weeks at home just lifting, practicing. So the 1-1 comes into Hover, misses outside. Then he was invited back, activated on July the 4th, and he's been an absolute shot in the arm for the Hyannis offense since. 0 for 3 tonight as the hitting streak might have one more chance. As the 2-0 comes into Hover, misses low. But once again, Fair, 4 doubles in his last 5 games. Had Low Perfido not come up with that ball, it likely could have been 5 of the last 6. Hover now the hitter. It's a 3-0 count with 1 down. Cotuit leading 10-2 in the bottom of the 6th. Shift on with the third baseman Schmidt playing in on the grass. Offering. Hits the inside corner. At bat stays alive at 3-1 to the Sun Devil Hover. So Hover adjusts the jersey a little bit. Tugs the left side. Now back into the box. 3-1 from Brereton. Outside, ball 4. So Trevor Hover draws walk number 23 on the summer as he moves down to first base. Reaches base for the 3rd time tonight. Sees aboard with 1 out for Hunter Goodman. So Goodman steps into the day 1 for 2. Had the RBI double in the 1st and struck out swinging in the 4th. For Hover, he came into the day tied with Jamal O'Gwyn of Chatham for the league lead in walks with 22. As Goodman wiggles his bat in the right side of the box, Brereton throws over. Hover steps back to the bag, a short lead. And O'Gwyn didn't play tonight for Chatham, doing some scoreboard watching. So as a result, Hover takes the league lead back in walks. 23 compared to O'Gwyn's 22. Pitch to Goodman. Fisted in the air into shallow left field, blooping, down for a base hit. Hover moves up to second. Goodman stops at first, and he picks up his 2nd hit of the night. It's a 1-out single for the Memphis product, as it'll bring up Jackson Olsen. 2 on, 1 down. So Olsen a hit in 2 tries today. He comes into the at-bat looking to chip away at some of the lead. Hyannis with 1 run in the first, 1 in the fourth. They trail by 8. So the infield for Cotuit's going to give a little bit of a defensive shift. Adam Oviedo, the shortstop's going to play straight up the middle, right behind Hover. Nick Gonzalez, the second baseman, a little shaded toward the bag as Brereton fires over to second. Hover's back, no problem. And a wild throw back behind the mound. Brereton's going to chase after it and foul ground on the right side, but there's not going to be an advance from either runner. So Olson, the hitter. Rigsby Mosley from Troy awaits on deck, so it looks like Brooks Carlson's night might come to an end. He's 1 for 2. That being Carlson, a single as well as a fielder's choice, while was also caught stealing back in his first try. Now the pitch from Brereton. Fastball at the knees, called strike. Borderline fastball, but gets rung up by home plate umpire David Chaston. His time's going to be called. Colton Kessler makes his way out to have a word with the right-handed arm Brereton. So it's been absolutely beautiful for the most part over the last few days on Cape Cod. As right on cue, there's a little bit of mist coming in. Some fog for sure. But the day started out just about picture perfect. A nice wind, a 77-degree day. Some slight clouds, but very, very sunny. It's supposed to get up in the 90s tomorrow, so it's going to be hot, but beautiful, beautiful weather on Cape Cod. As Brereton, the righty, bends his knees on the mound, he checks Hover at second, and now he steps over. I'll tell you what, nobody probably appreciates the warm weather more this summer than the man at the plate right now. Jackson Olson, who plays his college ball at Hartford in Connecticut, as Brereton fires the next offering, swing and a miss as he drops to a knee. 0-2. Olson does not get a lot of warm weather during his school ball. In fact, he said he didn't play a single game this season before his conference tournament with temperatures over 70 degrees. Not a single game. Temperatures got above the 70s. The 0-2. Ground ball hit out to the shortstop Oviedo. Gloves flips to second for 1. Fire to first. Double play. 6-4-3 go to the Kettleers, and that ends the bottom of the 6th inning. For Hyannis, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. It's Cotuit 10, Hyannis 2. We'll go to the 7th after this on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Casey Schmidt, the hitter. To begin the top of the 7th inning here from McKeon Park between Hyannis and Cotuit, with Joe Quintal back on the mound for inning number 2 of his day, as Casey Schmidt swings away, lifts a fly ball into deep left center field. Hover backtracking, has a beat moving to his left. He makes the grab in the gap. So 1 gone on 1 pitch to begin the top of the 7th. Joe Quintal induces a loud out to the hitter Casey Schmidt. And now it'll bring up Cam Hill, the center fielder out of Kentucky. So Quintal for Hyannis now represents the fourth arm into the game. Patrick Fredrickson's day ends after going an inning and a third. It's Quintal, the right-hander, gets the sign. The windup and fires. Fastball low. Fredrickson win an inning and a third. 2 hits, 4 runs, they were all earned, while walking 2, striking out 3. Now the 1-0. Up high. 2 balls, no strikes, the count. Hill on the day, 0 for 3. Strikeout, ground out, ground out. Now the pitch checks his swing up over the zone, and he goes around. So there's no doubt the Kettleers' offense has come alive over the last couple of innings. 2-1. Fly ball, left side. That's going to get out of play. Once again, 2 back in the 4th, 5 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th. And 10 runs have come on 10 hits. So talk about the Kettleers making the most of their opportunities. 2-2 from Quintal. Line drive foul down the left side. They've only left 4 runners on base to this point. For the 10 hits they've had, the 10 runs they've scored, they've left 4 on base. As Quintal gets the sign, he's ready. The 2-2. It beans the hitter, or rather, it's off the bat, the barrel of the bat as it gets out in front of the plate. Hackenberg picks up and fires to first in time. So it made a loud sound. It almost sounded like it got the wrist of Hill, but got the bottom part of the handle of the bat, rather. It skipped out toward the mound. Hackenberg ran out, made the play, fielded it with the right hand, and fired to fair at first for the second out. So there's one you don't see every day. Hill just started to check his swing a little bit. Looked like it had a chance to plunk him on the front hand, but instead it hits the knob of the bat and trickles out toward the infield grass. So first 2 batters retired. Colton Kessler now the hitter, as Joe Quintal's now worked the first 2 into retirement as the first pitch is fouled to the right side. Quintal came in to relieve Fredrickson. So Cole Pletka didn't have a bad outing. He only gave up the 2 earned runs in 3 innings, but 4 earned from Kyle Witten, 4 earned from Patrick Fredrickson. So it's really been the Achilles heel to this point. As that offering from Quintal hits the outside part of the plate, it's 0-1. So Witten and Fredrickson are both guys who have had really stellar outings as of late. Again, Witten had thrown 4 scoreless innings out of relief before entering today's play. Just wasn't quite their night. 0-1 from Quintal. Fastball, that misses up high. Meanwhile, for the right-hander Joe Quintal out of Fordham. Once again, his last outing came against this Cotuit ball club. It's his first time in 18 days getting up on the mound. Pitch, swinging a number foul behind the plate. Quintal was the man who made the start for the Harbor Hawks on opening night. He went 3 innings against the Chatham Anglers here in Hyannis, gave up 1 run on 2 hits. Then got a start against Brewster, struggled a bit. Threw 2 innings out of relief against Harwich and 2/3 of an inning of relief at Cotuit. 1-2. On the inside corner, strike 3. Joe Quintal freezes the hitter Colton Kessler to end the top of the 7th. And the Fordham righty sets down the Ketts bats in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Bottom of the 7th, set to go at McKeon Park with a pinch hitter for Brooks Carlson coming into the game. It'll be Rigsby Mosley, the Troy outfielder, set to take over designated hitting duties. So he digs into the left side of the box against the pitcher Richard Brereton. So Brereton back up on the mound. To this point, he's thrown 2 scoreless innings, giving up just 1 hit. Mosley looking to change that as the first pitch comes in. Off speed misses away. So for Richard Brereton, he's gotten just 1 at bat this summer. 0 for 1 as he's listed as an infielder on the website. The righty fires home the 1-0. Line back out of play, or rather off the netting. 1-1 to Rigsby Mosley. But for Richard Brereton, he's seen much more of his time up on the mound for the Kettleers this summer. He's thrown 18 1/3 innings, now 20 1/3 coming into this inning of play. It was 18 1/3 entering the day today. 1-1. Pop up on the infield. This chases the catcher back. That's Kessler. In comes the pitcher, Brereton, but it's Kessler to make the grab. 1 down. So Mosley retired. That'll bring up Anthony Servideo. There's more action getting loose in the Harbor Hawk bullpen. Looks like it might be Connor Ash, the righty from Missouri, getting loose. But Servideo coming into the day. Pair of strikeouts. And he looks to change the course of his night against the righty Brereton. Servideo wiggling the bat. First pitch comes in. Off speed, a called strike. So Brereton's had some tough outings at times. Again, in the 18 1/3 he's pitched. He's gotten roughed up here and there, but his last outing, his best of the summer, there's no question. 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 4 scoreless innings out at Doran Park against the Bourne Braves. He gave up 3 hits, 1 walk, struck out 4. Although the Kettleers ended up losing that contest 3-2. Now Brereton, the windup, the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Servideo strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. Brereton makes it 2 outs in the inning. It'll bring up Adam Hackenberg, the Clemson catcher. Now it looks like Chad Gassman might get a couple of substitutions in. Bryce Teodosio out of Clemson, now emerging on deck. So Rowdy Jordan takes a seat on the bench. His night will likely end after going 0 for 2. Teodosio will hit in the inning if we get there. But Hackenberg on the day, also 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Pitch, it plunks him right on the front arm, and Brereton loses him to a hit by pitch. So Hackenberg trots down to first base. He's aboard with 2 outs, and now Teodosio will come to the plate. So Brereton gets a baseball, will rub it out on the mound. Hyannis trailing 10-2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Cotuit has really just had the Harbor Hawks number this year. Again, 4-0 series lead coming into tonight. With the 10 plated so far today, Cotuit's now put up 53 runs in under 5 games against Hyannis this season. And again, it's been a good offense. Cotuit, one of the best in the league, as Teodosio takes a breaking ball down and in. But they've really piled it on tonight. 3 home runs. 1 coming from Loper Fido, 1 from Chavers, 1 from Nick Gonzalez. And all 10 runs came across the course of 3 innings to this point. Now the pitch. Down low, 2 balls, no strikes. Teodosio comes into the day, hitting 170. Certainly has a plus-plus glove and has started to swing the bat pretty well when he's gotten opportunities as of late. Facing Brereton, the stretch in the offering. Ground ball left side, diving effort, now backhanded by Oviedo, but it's off his glove. Stopping at second base, Adam Hackenberg. He dives back into the bag after thinking about third. But a hit through the 5-6 gap, C&I single for Bryce Teodosio. Casey Schmidt gave a diving effort to his left, but then the shortstop Oviedo backed him up, tried to backhand it on a slide, went off the heel of his glove, and it skipped into left field. So 2 straight base runners have reached for Hyannis in the 7th after a pop out and a strikeout. And with 2 on and 2 away, it'll bring up the top of the lineup and Jordan Westberg. So Teodosio picks up a single. He stands at first with Hackenberg at second. Westberg the hitter. Brereton checks the runner at second. Now the pitch. Down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Westberg today is 1 for 3. He had a single back in the third, but ended up being doubled off on part of a 1-6-3 double play from Ian Fair. Westberg asking for time as he kicks some dirt inside the right-handed box. A little bit of a shift on him with Nick Gonzalez playing well up the middle. Brereton the 1-0. Low and outside fastball. 2 balls, no strikes. And an interesting shift considering how well Westberg can hit the ball to the opposite field. It's just a gaping hole out on the right side for the Mississippi State shortstop. Brereton ready, glove above the belt, now the offering. Low and away, 3 balls, no strikes to Westberg. So Ian Fair waits on deck. Still action looming in the Hyannis bullpen. It is Connor Ash getting loose. But Brereton ready. Now the 3-0. Called strike, and count moves to 3 balls, 1 strike. 1 walk so far for Brereton. 2 free passes if you include the Hackenberg hit by pitch. He's punched out a pair. And now there's 2 runners aboard with 2 outs. Cotuit leading 10-2. Offering, line drive, past the glove of the third baseman Schmidt down the left field line. Hackenberg around third. He's going to score no problem. Teodosio sliding in head first safe to third and moving up to second. Jordan Westberg with an RBI single here in the bottom of the 7th. So Westberg picks up his second hit, RBI number 11 of his summer. And it puts runners on second and third with the score now 10-3 Cotuit in the bottom of the 7th. So Westberg ripped that ball down the left field line. They're actually going to rule it a double in spite of the left fielder Chavers opting to try to gun out Teodosio at third. So Westberg's going to be given a double. And now head coach Mike Roberts is going to make his way out to the mound. This may end Brereton's night. So Roberts having a conversation on the mound with the entirety of his infield. While he does that for Westberg, that was now his 7th extra base hit. Picked up that double down the left field line. He sure got a good piece of it. Schmidt gave a diving effort, might have gotten just a touch of his glove, but certainly not enough to knock the ball down. Mike Roberts still talking to Brereton on the mound. Now home plate umpire David Chaston making his way out to break it up. Roberts is going to leave Brereton in the game, so with 2 outs, he's going to try and let him finish the 7th. So Hackenberg ended up scoring. He was hit by a pitch, advanced to second base after the Teodosio single, and then had an easy coast around the bases home. So play back in, Fair the hitter. Teodosio stands at third with Jordan Westberg at second. Fair looking for his first hit tonight. Pitch, breaking ball, that misses up high. Fair grounded out to short, grounded into the 1-6-3 double play, and also had a hit robbed of him by Joey Loperfido in his last at-bat. That was back in the bottom of the 6th. The stretch from Brereton and the 1-0. Breaking ball misses down. The right-hander's going to take a second to kick some dirt out in front of the mound. Kind of fill up the landing plane that he's made for himself. 10-3 the score. Hyannis with 9 hits. Cotuit with 10. They've just capitalized more. 2-0. Fastball away. It's 3 balls, no strikes. So Fair riding a 7-game hitting streak. Hitless so far tonight, but in his 4th plate appearance of the evening, might not even get a chance to swing the bat. Brereton hasn't given him much good stuff to hit so far. Now the stretch in the 3-0. Fastball, that hits the outer black. It's 3-1. So Fair will step out of the box. Count remains alive at 3-1. Trevor Hauver awaiting on deck, but Hyannis has 2 runners in scoring position. Teodosio at third. Westberg at second. As Brereton's working from the first base side of the rubber. 3-1. Breaking ball, chopped toward the left side. Schmidt moving to his left, now fielded by Oviedo behind him. No play to first. Teodosio scores from third. It makes it 10-4 Cotuit. And an infield single is going to keep the hitting streak alive for Ian Fair. Make it an 8-game streak for the Northeastern first baseman. And now Mike Roberts, the Cotuit head coach, is going to come back out to the mound. This will end Brereton's night. So when he takes Brereton from the mound, they'll bring a new reliever into the game. And Hoover will see a new arm out of the bullpen with his Harbor Hawks trailing 10-4. Hyannis has put 2 on the board in the bottom of the 7th, but they've still got a long way to go. It's Cotuit 10, Harbor Hawks 4. We'll be back in just a minute for the rest of the bottom of the 7th when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Trevor Hoover digging into the left side of the box as we bring you back for the bottom of the 7th. There's 2 on with runners on the corners, as new arm Casey Schmidt has entered the game right from third base. So the two-way player for the Cotuit Ball Club set to take the mound, face the left-handed hitting Hoover. He fires the first pitch. It's a fastball low. Couple of defensive changes for Cotuit, with Schmidt coming into the ball game. Matthew Mervis has shifted from first to third. Mason McWhorter's come into the game as the first baseman. And as a result, the DH has been burned. So no more designated hitter. It's 1-0 to Hoover with runners on the corners. Pitch, swing and a miss. Hoover hitting .242 coming into the at-bat. 2 hit nights so far with 2 runs scored, also walked. But Hyannis still trailing by 6. Have a long way to work if they're going to come back from what originally started as an 8-run deficit. 1-1. Swinging a foul back off the backstop. It'll be 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Casey Schmidt, at least from the plate today, 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts, pair of flyouts. But looking to make his day on the mound a little bit better than his day at the plate. 13 2/3 innings coming into tonight. A 3.29 ERA, making his 8th appearance. Jordan Westberg blowing a bubble with his gum down the third base line, getting a short lead with no hold. Ian Fair getting a lead at first, being held on by McWhorter. Now time's going to be called. Brief one is that as Hover steps back in, flips the bat at the mound a couple times, loops the bat once, and now into his stance. Schmidt ready, the 1-2. Swung on and lifted high and deep to center. Back goes Hill at the wall, and he makes the grab with his back to the fence. So Hover drove one to the deepest part of the ballpark. It sent Hill all the way back to the warning track, but just made the catch before the fence, and that ends the bottom of the 7th. So Hover just misses his 2nd home run of the summer, and the score remains Cotuit 10, Hyannis 4. For the Harbor Hawks in the inning, 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, 2 left on. We'll go to the top of the 8th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Adam Oviedo, Nick Gonzalez, and Matthew Mervis, the 9-1-2, coming to the plate in the top of the 8th, with Joe Quintal back on the mound for Hyannis. He's set to go as he's ready with the first offering, drops in a breaking ball, but it's low. 1 ball, no strikes. Oviedo's had himself quite the night. Reached base all 3 times. He's 2 for 2 with a walk, 2 runs scored. Quintal, the right-hander, gets the sign as he shakes off a couple from Adam Hackenberg. Steps off the mound to reset. Oviedo will do more of the same in the box. He'll adjust both batting gloves. Tap the bat to the right cleat. Now digs his way back in. Infield back. Quintal's ready, the offering. Another breaking ball. This one hits the bottom of the zone. It's 1-1. Quintal's been sharp so far out of relief. Inning and 2/3 a scoreless ball. Giving up just 1 hit. Struck out 3. Hasn't allowed a free pass. Now the 1-1 from the right-hander. Swung on and hit foul behind him. Up off the netting. It's 1-2. It's funny, though, for as good as Cotuit's been offensively tonight, Oviedo's the only guy in the bottom third of the lineup, or even in the final 4 batters that's reached base. Casey Schmidt, Cameron Hill, Colton Kessler, all hitless. The pitch comes in, popped up on the infield right side. Quintal moving to his left, Ian Fair moving in, can't call him off, and the ball drops in front of him in fair territory, but it's going to be called runner's interference. Oviedo's going to be called out. So Ian Fair came in to have a chance at the ball. Quintal moving to his left. He was called off by the first baseman Fair, who made the right play to come in and take charge. But then he was bumped into by Adam Oviedo running down the line. As a result, the ball dropped in fair territory in front of him. But home plate umpire David Chastin says the hitter Oviedo's out with a runner's interference. So now that brings the lineup back to Nick Gonzalez. Pitch from Quintal, swinging a pop-up foul out of play right side. So Gonzalez today, after going 0 for 2 in his first at bat, single in the fifth with a run scored, 2-run bomb out to center field back in the top of the sixth inning. Quintal's 0-1. Ground ball foul left side. Count a run to 0-2. So let's go back to Nick Gonzalez. This is a guy who, again, people talked about, will the talent translate to the best summer league there is to offer? The answer in short is yes. And he's done it in such a thrilling fashion. You can best bet he'll be on display on Sunday in the All-Star game. 0-2 comes in. It beans Gonzalez right on the front hand. So Gonzalez kind of feeling out that left arm wrist area a little bit. He's taking a couple loops outside the left-handed batter's box. Quintal's going to get a new baseball handed to him by home plate umpire David Chaston. Gonzalez is going to remove the batting glove. Trainers are going to come out just to have a quick look at him. So first free pass that Quintal's issued tonight. They're just giving Gonzalez a look, feeling out the left hand a little bit from outside the box. Matthew Mervis will be the hitter when play resumes. Going over the proper precautions with the second baseman, Nick Gonzalez. Quintal back on the mound. Mike Roberts in from third base as well to check on his second baseman. Gonzalez still going over a couple of things. He nods his head. Could mean about anything, but they're going to both tap him on the back a couple times. And it looks like he's going to jog it out to first base, no problem. So good for Nick Gonzalez. That would be a very, very, very unfortunate way to cut a summer short. Very lucky for him. He's okay. Probably just going to leave a little bit of a bruise. And he'll bring up Matthew Mervis. So Cotuit fans can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief. Chad Gassman's going to come out to the mound. There's now a lefty warming in the Hyannis bullpen. We'll see if this ends Quintal's night. And again, Joe's been really good out of relief. He's now thrown 2 scoreless, so he'll be responsible for Gonzalez at first base if he's removed from the game. But Gassman steps up onto the mound. David Chaston, the home plate umpire, is going to walk out to make sure the meeting stays short. We're at the 8:40 mark, so this game's now gone 2 hours, 39 minutes here in the 8th inning. And now Chad Gassman's going to opt to go to the bullpen. He signals his left hand out down the left field line. Quintal's night will end after, so far, 2 scoreless innings. We'll have that new pitcher for you on the other side of the break, but it's Cotuit 10, Hyannis 4 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back in the top of the 8th inning from McKeon Park with 1 out, 1 on. It'll be the left-hander David Moore coming into the game out of pit, set to face Duke first baseman Matthew Mervis. The lefty stretches and fires. It's a breaking ball down. 1 ball, no strikes. Mervis started the game as the first baseman. He's now shifted over to third. But for David Moore, comes into the ball game looking to keep the score at bay. The stretch in the offering, another breaking ball. This one misses Moore outside. 2 balls, no strikes to the count. For Moore, he's making his 3rd appearance. He's thrown 2 2/3 innings to this point. 3.37 ERA. 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. As the lefty's ready with the 2-0, fastball runs outside. Nick Gonzalez stands at first base, and again, he will absolutely be on display in the All-Star game. One of 8 Cotuit Cavaliers set to head out to Orleans on Sunday night. Moore's ready, now the 3-0. Get me over fastball, or rather, wow, they're going to call that outside, so they walk Mervis. Mervis draws walk number 4 of his night. So he's 0 for 1 with a quartet of base on balls. And now there's runners on first and second for Mason McWhorter. So Mervis on, he's the runner at first. Gonzalez over at second. And Moore comes set. Checks the runner ready with the offering. Breaking ball low. Hackenberg keeps it at front, no advance. So Gonzalez once again attending the All-Star game. He'll be playing. Aubrey Major, another guy that's set to go. He hasn't played in either of the last 2 games that Hyannis and Cotuit have squared off. Then along with Reed Johnston, Cody Pasek, Casey Schmidt, Parker Chavers, a few others. The pitch comes in. McWhorter pops it high into the air beyond the catcher's position. McWhorter, or rather Hackenberg racing back, and it lands in the Cotuit dugout. So McWhorter pops one foul to the right side. It brought Fair and Hackenberg over to try and retrieve it, but neither could get there in time. Kind of hooked its way past the on-deck circle and over toward the dugout. But for Cotuit, a lot of guys heading out to Orleans to partake in the All-Star game. Moore ready. As he's ready, the 1-1. Breaking ball drops into the zone. It's 1-2. Matt Moore, another guy that'll be in attendance for Cotuit. He's an arm out of the University of Purdue. As Moore checks the runner with a 1-2 count, Cotuit leading 10-4. He'll now step off. So 1-2 the count. Mason McWhorter looking to bring in a couple more. Today he's 2 for 2. 2 RBI single, then another single. Pitch, breaking ball, strike 3 called. Moore flips one over. It fans McWhorter for the 2nd out of the inning. And it'll bring up Parker Chavers with 2 on and 2 down. There's Moore's first strikeout tonight. 4th of the summer. Parker Chavers, who's certainly had himself a day. 2 for 4 with a double and a 3-run bomb. Coming to the plate for the 5th time. Moore's offering. Breaking ball hits the outside corner. It's 0-1. But Gonzalez is a guy who has torn it up for 2 years in the WAC. He actually spent a very, very brief amount of time in Cotuit last summer. Got less than 10 at-bats. As Moore's ready, the 0-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. He's here more full-time this summer, and boy, has Cotuit used them to their full strength. As Gonzalez currently sits, he's hitting .360 on the summer. Once again, he came into the day 3rd in the league, behind only Zach DeLoach and Wyatt Young. Now the 1-1. Breaking ball hits the outside corner again. It's 1-2. But again, every category you want to name. Home runs, he's tied for 2nd. RBIs, he's now tied for 2nd. Doubles, he's up in the top 3. He leads the Cape League in hits. I mean, across the board, this guy's been the best offensive player on the Cape. I think it's pretty hands down at this point. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Down goes Chavers. That ends the top of the 8th as David Moore makes it back-to-back strikeouts to strand runners on first and second. For Cotuit in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left on. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It's the Kettleers 10, the Harbor Hawks 4 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. To the bottom of the 8th we go for McKeon Park. It'll be the middle of the Hyannis lineup. Hunter Goodman, Jackson Olson, and Rigsby Mosley coming to the plate. Casey Schmidt, the two-way player out of San Diego State's back on the mound. And with Goodman digging in, he currently sits at a 2-for-3 day. Had the RBI double in the first, struck out swinging in the 4th, and had a bloop single down the left field line in the 6th. He'll be facing Schmidt for the first time. Comes home. Good fastball. Hits the outside corner. It's 0-1. Goodman a multi-hit day, much like Trevor Hauber. Those are the only 2 players with multi-hit, or rather, 2 of 3 with multi-hit games today, as Jordan Westberg's had himself a 2-hit night. But Goodman looking to add on and get something going to begin the 8th. Pitch, line drive down the right field line. That's going to fall in front of Loperfido, a base hit. He overruns it. It gets by him and trickles to the fence. Goodman now moving down to second, stops right there, hits the brakes, and steps on the pillow as he reaches base with a no-out single as he leads off the inning, puts himself in scoring position. So he's aboard. Just takes an off-speed pitch the other way down the right field line. Loperfido was shifted his way to his right in the gap. And as he tried to run it down, he overran it, stuck out his right hand trying to keep it in front. He couldn't do so. And it got all the way to the fence, allowing Goodman to advance an extra 90 feet. So a 3-hit night for the Memphis product, Hunter Goodman. It'll be ruled a single in an E9. And it now brings up Jackson Olson. Olson 1-for-3. Pitch from Schmidt. Fastball runs outside. So now Hyannis has actually out-hit Cotuit tonight. But again, it's all about how the Kettleers have capitalized with runners in scoring position. 3 home runs will certainly help you out. And they've got them. 1 from Loperfido, 1 from Chavers, 1 from the league's best offensive threat, Nick Gonzalez. Now the pitch. Breaking ball. Hits the inside corner. It's 1-1. And they left 2 on base the last inning. But that now brings up their total to 6. Only 6 left on base, despite putting up 10 runs on 10 hits. Now Schmidt comes set. Glove right at the letters, the 1-1. Fisted foul behind home plate, and it gets off the screen. But again, despite Cotuit having a big lead tonight, certainly was a nice night, especially to begin the ball game. Now it's just kind of calm and windy. One more time, Jackson Olson will take that any day of the week, as for most of his season, he was playing in nothing but cold weather. Once again, he said he didn't get a single game over 70 degrees until his conference tournament at the end of the season. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chases a fastball in the dirt. Strikeout completed by Kessler. He throws down to first. And there's 1 down in the bottom of the 8th. So Olson fanned. It'll bring up Rigsby Mosley. But back to Olson again. When He talked about playing in the cold weather during his school season. He said there were times where, one, you couldn't even see the ball when it would be pouring down snow on the field. He'd feel the ball out at his position, and not only could he barely see it, he couldn't even get it out of his glove. I mean, he would try to pick the ball up, and his hands would be so cold he couldn't even make the transfer to throw to first. Pitch to Mosley, that's pop foul up and out of play. I mean, he said his hands were absolutely freezing during those days. And additionally with that, when he said he was hitting, he'd almost just stick his bat straight back toward the catcher and almost try to slap hit because he said, once again, with his hands being so cold, he couldn't grip the bat too hard or he'd almost lose feeling. So he had to try to just kind of hold it lightly, try to put the ball in play by slap hitting as the 1-0 comes into Mosley, swing and a miss. 0-2 with one out, 10-4 Cotuit leading. But the East Coast, especially in the months of February and March, can be ever so cold and not the world's most ideal baseball temperatures. So Jackson Olsen, who's said time after time how much he's absolutely loved Cape Cod this summer, the weather has to be one of the contributing factors. Schmidt comes set, checks the runner Goodman at second, fires home. Down in the dirt, it's 1-2. Time's going to be called. Kessler's going to need a second to the right of the plate as it looked like he took that one pretty hard off the chest. He's wincing in pain to the right of the plate with the trainer and head coach Mike Roberts coming out to check on him. So Wally Texas takes a second to reset. 1-2 with one out. He seems to be okay as both Roberts and the trainer make their way back to the dugout. But again, for Olsen, that's just crazy that not one game over 70 degrees until the end of the season. I mean, with most of these schools that play in cold weather temperatures the first couple months, for example, some of the schools out in the Big Ten, they'll start their seasons out west and playing in some of the more warm weather states. Michigan State, for example, had a series early on in the year with Arizona State. Much more the same with Notre Dame. Sticking in the state of Arizona, Nebraska comes out early in the year to the state of Arizona to play a few games and surprise each winter rather. As Schmidt's ready, the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Mosley goes down swinging as Schmidt makes it back-to-back strikeouts. And there's two down in the inning for Anthony Servideo. So Servideo comes in 0 for 3. He struck out all 3 times. But again, it's really, really tough to play baseball in cold weather conditions, and that's probably stating the obvious, but Jackson had to find a way to do it for almost the entirety of his school season. So Schmidt dangling the right arm down, staring in at the hitter Servideo. Comes set, fires home the first pitch, fastball inside. And again, to name teams like Nebraska, Michigan State, Notre Dame, those are just a few out of the Midwest. Notre Dame, of course, not in the Big Ten. They play in the ACC. But some of these cold weather states, they have to find other options. So they go out west to play a lot of series before their own home ballpark has playable temperatures. And a lot of the other Big Ten schools and cold weather schools will go other places, but for Jackson Olsen, wasn't granted that as Anthony Servideo swings through an off-speed pitch. Count runs to 1-1. So we have to deal with a lot of cold weather. And now Olsen's absolutely loved Cape Cod, and he's put himself in a position with a pretty nice summer as well. He's 1 for 4 tonight. And now the pitch to Servideo comes in. He swings and fouls it back. Now, Cape Cod, to be fair, has not had the most ideal weather conditions at times this summer either. There's been rain after rain, the most the elbow of Massachusetts has seen in almost a decade. But when the rain's finally cleared, specifically the last couple weeks of the summer, and these first couple in July, it's been gorgeous. It's been what everybody raves about when they talk about the Cape Cod weather during the summer. Schmidt checks the runner, now the 1-2. Down low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now, yes, there was rain yesterday, but that'll happen from time to time. Tomorrow's supposed to be beautiful. Saturday and Sunday, both 90 degrees. In fact, that's almost a little hot for up here in Cape Cod. But both days are supposed to be absolutely gorgeous. The last couple of weeks for weather, throwing out yesterday, has been really, really ideal, and a lot more games have gotten in. Now the 2-2. on the outside corner, strike 3. So Casey Schmidt strikes out the side in the bottom of the 8th. Servideo makes it 4 strikeouts on the night. And through 8 frames, Cotuit's up 10-4. For the Harbor Hawks in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left on. We'll go to the 9th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Cotuit sending up their 5-6-7 to the plate in the top of the 9th with the lefty David Moore back on the mound. To this point, he's thrown 2/3 of an inning as the first pitch to Loper Fido's fouled away to the left side. So it's 10-4 Cotuit entering the 9th. Cavaliers got all 10 runs within the course of 3 frames. 2 runs in the top of the 4th, 5 in the top of the 5th, 3 in the top of the 6th. Moore fires home the next offering. It's a fastball outside. Loper Fido today, 1 for 4. But that 1 hit was more than noticeable. A 2-run bomb, that was an absolute moonshot. Up into the top part of the trees in right center field, and it got out in a hurry. 1-1. Breaking ball drops in at the belt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Moore's flashed a good breaking ball so far in his outing. And he's used it pretty heavily, almost a little bit more than his fastball. Now he gets the sign from Hackenberg. 1-2. Breaking ball, that hits the hitter on the head. So Loper Fido removes the helmet. He's just going to walk down to first base as he puts the helmet back on. And he's going to get checked on by the trainer just for proper precaution. Seems to be okay. And it'll now bring up Casey Schmidt, who started the game as the pitcher, or rather started the game as the third baseman. Now he's into pitch. Once again, the DH has been burned. Mason McWhorter, who was DHing. In fact, about a century ago, Araja New started this game for Cotuit as the DH. He was replaced by Mason McWhorter, who now comes in as the first baseman. The DH now burned. Schmidt hitting for himself. As he flips the bat out toward the zone as the right-handed hitting San Diego State Aztecs set to face off with the Pitt Panther, Moore, who fires home. It's a breaking ball low. So Schmidt today 0 for 4. Looking to change that here in the 9th. Cotuit, 10 runs on 10 hits. Hyannis, 4 runs on 11 hits. Moore working out of the stretch with some wind pushing up against his pant leg. Pitch to Schmidt, fouled off the back leg, and time called as he's going to take a second in the box to get himself ready. Quickly, or now kind of briskly rising up. He's limping it out outside the right-handed batter's box. But Moore, the 5th pitcher into the game tonight, the 4th out of relief, has so far to this point thrown 2/3 of an inning. Schmidt trying to shake it out outside the box. Trainer giving him some proper attention. Nobody getting loose in the Hyannis bullpen, so head coach Chad Gassman opting to stay with Moore for what will likely be the remainder of the 9th inning. Schmidt, two-way guy. much like Moore, also came in relief, but once again, a little bit of a different fashion as he came in from third base. He's back into the box. Moore ready, fires home, line drive into left field, falls in front of Haver on a couple hops, a base hit. Loperfido around second, but he hits the brakes there, retreats back to the bag. And Casey Schmidt picks up his first hit of the night to put 2 on with nobody out for Cam Hill. So Schmidt, after striking out twice, flying out twice, laces one into left field in front of Trevor Haver. And now it brings up Cam Hill. So Moore looking for the first out. The middle infield now shifted toward the second base bag in case of the double play. Moore comes set. Gives a long look at the runner. That's Joey Loperfido. Now time's called. Hill today's 0 for 4. He struck out his first time and grounded out his last 3 tries. Pitch. Breaking ball low and away. Chested up by Hackenberg. So Moore started the inning okay, but at least in the first count, he got himself ahead, but then hit the hitter Loperfido on the head to walk him. Gives up the single to Casey Schmidt. Now the third batter of the inning, Hill digging in. 1-0. Ground ball foul left side. So 10-4 the score in the top of the 9th. And it seems that there have been trends depending on the location of the game between these two ball clubs. Wind still blowing out toward right center. Lefty-lefty matchup taking place at the plate. 1-1 from Moore. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Well, you look at the two contests, or rather, the two contests at Lowell Park. Cotuit won the first 9-8. They won the second one 7-6. So granted, they still took both. But those were very, very close. Both offensive heavy contests. Each team's bats coming alive, but both times Cotuit just kind of getting the last laugh. Now the 1-2. Breaking ball on the outside corner, strike 3 called. Hill fan for the second time tonight. He strikes out looking as he walks back to the dugout. And it'll bring up the catcher, Colton Kessler. But those two games at Lowell Park were both close. The two games that have been played at McKeon Park, at least leading up to tonight, were absolutely lopsided. 11-0 Cotuit, 16-4 Cotuit. And now in the third and final game at McKeon Park between these two clubs this season, it's been a little bit more of the same story. First pitch from Moore. That's a fastball that misses away. So Cotuit with a 6-run lead here in the top of the 9th. Each time they've come to McKeon Park, they have really had a combination of some good hitting and some quality pitching. Moore comes set, checks the runner at second. Now the 1-0. Breaking ball, that's low. 2 balls, no strikes. They got some quality innings out of Jackson Wolf tonight, the Cotuit starter. He went 4 frames, gave up 6 hits, just 1 earned run, no walks, 5 strikeouts. That's more than a sufficient enough job to keep the Kettleers in the ballgame. With the way their offense generates, it was more than enough. Pitch. Fastball misses outside. So 3-0 the count. Kessler, the catcher out of Kentucky, looking to reach base for the first time. He's 0 for 4. Line out, pop out, and a couple of strikeouts. Moore checks the runner at second. That's Loperfido. No hold. Now he's going to step off. So again, 2 blowouts so far at McKeon Park. Another fairly lopsided one tonight, but 2 nail-biters out at Lowell Park. Moore's ready, the 3-0. Fastball misses outside, ball 4. Loses Kessler on 4 pitches. He's going to walk down to first, and the bases will be loaded for Adam Oviedo. So Kessler reaches base for the first time. Moore has given up 3 different free passes to load the bases. And now Oviedo, the hitter, who's 3 for 4, or 2 for 3, with a walk, 2 runs scored, steps in for the 5th time. Moore, the lefty, sets at the belt. First offering, breaking ball low. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Cotuit won the 2018 series 5-1. Hyannis took the first contest at Lowell Park. And then the Cotuit Ball Club came back to win 5 in a row. Barring a miracle comeback from Hyannis, they'll take the first 5 here in this year's series as Oviedo punches one foul to the left side. So when tomorrow rolls around, Hyannis will travel out to Lowell Park again for their final matchup of the season against Cotuit, their final time going to Cotuit. And 2 nights ago, once again, things were cut short. 6 innings of play, Cotuit won 7-6. Moore the stretch in the 1-1. Inside fastball brushes Oviedo off the plate. Count runs to 2-1. Harbor Hawks have been swept this season by Chatham. That was 4-0. Looking to avoid doing more of the same against the Cotuit Ball Club. Harwich won the series 3-1. Hyannis got 1 in a doubleheader as the 2-1 comes in. It's a breaking ball high. Those are the only 2 teams that Hyannis has completed play with this season. 2 Eastern Division foe. Eastern Division teams, Hyannis will play 4 times. West Division teams, they play 6 times. This is the 5th of 6 against Cotuit tonight. As Moore comes set, Roxon deals the 3-1. Inside fastball, Oviedo checks his swing, and he goes around to even up, or rather fill up the count at 3-2. Oviedo's going to adjust his batting gloves. Step back into the box with the bases loaded. Loperfido at third, Schmidt at second, Kessler at first. The infield playing back with 1 down. It's 10-4 Kettleers. Moore ready, the stretch in the 3-2 pitch. Inside ball 4. Oviedo draws a 1-out walk, his second free pass of the night. And it makes it RBI number 16 of his summer. Loperfido steps on the plate. The 11th run of the day comes across for Cotuit. And now with the bases loaded and 1 down, here comes Nick Gonzalez. So Gonzalez in his last 3 at-bats, a single, a home run, and a hit by pitch. He's 2 for 4 with that free pass on the day. Moore the lefty out of pit. Looking to get a ground ball out. Pitch to Gonzalez, fastball high. And once again, to dig further in on the season of the New Mexico State second baseman, he also walks a ton. 15 walks on the summer. In fact, he walks more than he strikes out. The 1-0, inside fastball. Count goes to 2 balls, no strikes. Moore has not seemed to have much command over the last few batters. But he's looking to kind of shake things up and find some rhythm. Of course, he only needs 1 ground ball. As with the bases loaded and 1 out, the double play is in play. But for Gonzalez, 6 hit by pitches, 15 walks, so 21 free passes on the summer. And he's only struck out 14 times. 2-0. Ground ball right to the third baseman, Olsen. Fields cleanly. He's going to opt to tag the runner. He does, but that's all he can get. Kessler tagged out from second to third. Schmidt scores from third. That's the 12th run of the day for Cotuit. And Gonzalez will be safe at first with a fielder's choice. It's now 12-4 Kettleers. So now Matthew Mervis, the hitter. He'll dig in from the left side. His 6th plate appearance. But he's only had 1 official at-bat. His last 4 times to the plate have all been base on balls. Moore comes set, delivers home. Ground ball foul to the right side. So after Cotuit put up 10 runs in 3 combined innings between the 4th, 5th, and 6th, they've added on even further here in the top of the 9th. Oviedo at second. Gonzalez at first. Oviedo getting a healthy lead as Moore comes home. This is down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Mervis flipping the bat out toward the mound. He's looking for his first hit. He currently sits with an average of 300 on the dot. Moore the 1-1. Breaking ball drops into the zone. It's 1-2. That one coming in right at the letters. Mervis let it go. Now he's down to his last strike with a 1-2 count, 2 down. Moore, the left-hander, out of pit. Spent 2 seasons at community college. Just finished his junior year with the Panthers. Now the 1-2. Swung on and lined deep into right field. Back goes Goodman. At the wall, it's off the top of the fence. Oviedo's going to walk home. Gonzalez going first to third. Mervis slides into second. Tag applied too late. It's an RBI double for the Duke product, Matthew Mervis, his 12th of the summer. And Cotuit makes it 14-4 in the top of the 9th. So now that'll bring up Mason McWhorter, first baseman from Georgia Southern, and Cotuit has really not stopped piling it on. So lefty-lefty matchup with Moore back on the hill. It's 13-4 rather, the score as pitch comes in. This is outside. Only 1 run came around on that last play. Or rather, 1 run came around to score. As there's 2 aboard, both in scoring position with 2 outs. 1-0. This is outside. Gets away from the glove of the catcher, Hackenberg. Gonzalez coming home. No throw to the plate. Hackenberg's going to throw down to third and sliding in safely, the runner Matthew Mervis. So both runners advance 90 feet. Gonzalez scores. Mervis up to third. And now the Kettleers have made it 14-4 in the top of the 9th. So runner on third with 2 down. McWhorter, the hitter. He's 2 for 3. Pitch from Moore. Misses outside. So for the right-hander, David Moore, once again, transferred from Harford Community College. He struck out 54 in 31 innings pitched there. He made 23 appearances for Pitt this past season. Now the pitch hits the bottom of the zone. It's 3-1. So 4 runs have come across in the inning. 2 down. Moore looking for the third out. Now the 3-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nick Gonzalez just came in to score on the pass ball. He has 3 RBIs tonight. Picked up 1 in his last at bat. 3-2. Fouled back. And that gets stuck on the pole between the netting and the pole behind home plate. So I guess they're just going to leave it there. I mean, not much of a way they can go and get it. It's pretty high up. And now David Moore's going to work himself with another full count opportunity. 3-2 offering. Breaking ball. That's up high, and he loses McWhorter. McWhorter trots down to first base. It puts runners on the corners for Parker Chavers. So Cotuit, 4 runs in the inning. Only 1 has come off a hit. It was that Matthew Mervis double. Now Chavers the hitter. First pitch from Moore. Breaking ball in the dirt. Everybody's going to stay put. Now Cotuit, between their combination of quality offense and good pitching, has put themselves at the best run differential in the league. Plus 38 the Kettleers stand through just under 33 full games. Moore now comes from the stretch, the 1-0. Fastball misses outside. So with a 10-run advantage tonight, of course they could tack on more with runners on the corners, but if things stay put, they'll move to a 48-run differential. That'll easily be the best in the league. Moore, the lefty, comes set, takes a breath. Now ready, the 2-0. Fastball misses outside. And once again, Wareham might be a little bit more balanced offensively. Sure, less home runs, but a little more balanced. However, for Cotuit, first in the league in runs scored coming into today. First in home runs. And their pitching staff's also very, very gritty as well. 3-0 for Moore. Get me over fastball for a called strike. Their ERA ranks 4th in the league as a team, 381. That's coming into tonight's play. as well as their strikeout total of 268, which ranks 4th. So Moore ready, 3-1, misses outside. That loads the bases. Chavers draws a walk. He walks down to first base, and it'll bring up Joey Loperfido. So Chavers was the 9th man to the plate this inning. Loperfido is going to be the 10th as he's going to hit for the 2nd time here in the top of the 9th. Moore ready, first pitch, breaking ball, called strike on the inside corner. Now the offering, inside breaking ball, it hits him. Loperfido hit by a pitch for the 2nd time this inning. And he trots down to first base. That'll plate another run. Mervis steps on the plate. And Cotuit has now made it 15-4 in the 9th. So now in steps Casey Schmidt. Mike Roberts going to call time to have a word with him. And the bases are still loaded for the Kettleers. So nobody getting loose in the bullpen. They're just opting to stay with Moore and use one arm till he can get the final out. But the bases are loaded. McWhorter at third, Chavers at second, Loperfido at first. And now the pitch, breaking ball to the hitter. Schmidt misses upstairs. Five runs have come across in the inning for the Kettleers, and a lot of free passes at that. Pitch from Moore, breaking ball. That hits the top of the zone. It's 1-1. Moore's walked a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys so far this inning, and he's also hit 2 batters, both of them being Loperfido. Offering, foul ball, tapped out of play in the air. So 12-4 the score. This is tied for the most runs Cotuit has scored in an inning so far tonight. They had 5 in the 6th, or rather 5 in the 5th, and 5 so far in the 9th. And once again, only 1 hit has come out of it. That was the Matthew Mervis RBI single. Moore into the windup with the bases loaded. 1-2. Swung on and blooped out to second base. Servideo ranges back. He makes the grab to end the inning. But the damage has been done in the top of the 9th. For the Kettleers, 5 runs, 1 hit, no errors, 3 left on. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th when we come back. It's Cotuit 15, Hyannis 4 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Adam Hackenberg, Bryce Teodosio, Jordan Westberg, the 3 to come to the plate in the bottom of the 9th inning. And the right-hander Casey Schmidt's back on the mound, 2-way player from San Diego State, looking to close it out. First pitch to Hackenberg, ground ball foul to the left side. Adam today 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts as well as a hit by pitch and a run scored. Hyannis put up 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th as they look like they might have a chance to start chipping away at something. but they couldn't play it any more across. And then 5 runs from the Kettleers in the top of the 9th. It's really put things out of hand as Hackenberg swings and fouls one into the glove of Kessler. So far today, Schmidt's gone an inning and a third. Just 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. The righty opting to work directly out of the stretch with nobody on. Pitch, swing, and a foul tip into the glove, strike 3. So Kessler squeezes it for the first out of the inning. Hackenberg punches out for the 3rd time tonight. It'll bring up Bryce Teodosio. Teodosio recorded a hit in his first at bat. He singled through the left side, past the glove of Casey Schmidt, and Oviedo got a tip of it on the backhand as Bryce swings and misses through the first from Schmidt. Mitch McIntyre awaiting on deck to pinch hit for Jordan Westberg. So the Bulldogs' day will end after going 2 for 4. But Bryce starting to swing a decent bat. He's come in to get a couple at bats late as he swings and misses through the next offering. Count will run to 0-2. But once again, he's singled back in his first at bat, and he's raised the average a decent amount from what it was a couple weeks ago. Flips the bat out toward the zone a couple times, or out toward the mound a couple times. Right-hander Schmidt gets ready. 0-2. Fastball high. So Teodosio still yet with a home run this summer. He's absolutely got power. He had 9 in his season at Clemson. He had 5 last summer for the Waynesboro Generals of the Valley League. Schmidt giving him a long stare down from the mound. Gets the sign from the catcher Kessler. Now the 1-2. Swung on and lifted deep center field. Back goes Hill, still going at the track. The wall looks up. It's off the top of the fence. Teodosio cruising into second base. He'll stop right there. And the Clemson product makes it a 2-hit night with a 1-out double. He absolutely scorched it. Only thing is he got it to the deepest part of the ballpark. It sent Hill back. He flashed the numbers as he started to look up, thinking the ball might leave the yard. But it just stays in. Teodosio will stand at second base, and it brings up Mitch McIntyre. McIntyre coming in to pinch hit for Jordan Westberg. Once again, Westberg's day will end after going 2 for 4. Mitch coming into the at-bat hitting .208. 10 for 48 on the summer. 2 extra base hits, both of them being doubles. Schmidt now the stretch in the first pitch. Inside, ball 1. So Hyannis had the lead early. I was back in the bottom of the first, and they held it through 3 innings of play. But to recap, Koplecka gave up the 2-run shot to Joey Loperfido in the 4th. That made it 2-1 as Schmidt comes set. Fires the 1-0. Swung on and lifted in the air to deep right center. Back goes Hill, still going back at the track, the wall, leaps, and he makes the grab going into the fence. Teodosio trots from second to third, but Mitch McIntyre gave it an absolute ride out to the gap. What a play by Cam Hill. Tracked it perfectly, leaped at the last second, and took it away. Tough to say. It was borderline going to get out. It probably would have hit off the tippy top of the fence and the blue padding up on top of the wall here at McKeon Park. But a really nice play from Cam Hill, the Kentucky center fielder, for the 2nd out. So now the final hope being fair. Northeastern first baseman. Pitch. Fastball high. Gets away from the catcher Kessler. Teodosio sprinting home from third, and he scores easily. So Hyannis makes it 15-5 in the bottom of the 9th. Teodosio scores from third on the wild pitch from Schmidt. So now nobody on with 2 outs. Fair with a 1-0 count. So far today, he's 1 for 4. Schmidt comes set. He gets the sign. Kicks and deals the 1-0. Swing and a miss at a fastball. So after that 4th inning Loperfido home run, Hyannis came back to tie it in the bottom of the 4th. That made it 2-2. But in the 5th, or the 5th and 6th innings, yeah, it was all Kettleers. 1-1 to fair, swing and a miss. So Cotuit had those 2 runs in the fourth after Hyannis led 1-0 through 3. It was 2-1. Hyannis tied it at 2-2. But then Cotuit scored 8 unanswered runs, and that's really what kind of put the emphasis on this ball game. Fair down to his last strike. It's 1-2. The pitch. Line drive right at the third baseman, Mervis. He snags it. That's the ball game. Cotuit picks up their 5th win of the season over Hyannis, and they win by a final score of 15-5 here at McKeon Park. So a tough one for Hyannis. They had the lead early. Cole Pletka threw 3+ innings of quality baseball. His first 3 total innings were scoreless, but the Lo Perfido 4th inning home run gave Cotuit the 2-run lead. Hyannis came back to tie it, but those 8 runs in the 5th and 6th innings, the Kettleers, were really what loomed large. And once again, Hyannis' offense wasn't bad. They put up 5 runs, just the pitching couldn't quite hold it. And Cotuit's offense was all over the place tonight. For the 3rd time in as many tries this season, the Kettleers win an absolute blowout from McKeon Park. 11-0 the first time, 16-4 the second, and now 15-5 the third and final time. These teams will be meeting up tomorrow to take place at Lowell Park in the 6th of 6 contests in the Patriot Cup of the 2019 summer. But it's been all Cotuit to this point. They're up 5-0 in the season over Hyannis. Couple bright spots to take away from the Harbor Hawks tonight. Jordan Westberg, a 2-hit night. Trevor Hauver, 2-hit night, reaching base 3 times. Ian Fair extends that hitting streak to 8 games with that 7th inning infield single. But ultimately, the bullpen pitching and the arms not being able to hold the lead. And as a result, Hyannis drops the contest to the Cotuit Ball Club, moving to 6-25-1 on the year. With the Kettleers picking up win number 17, moving to 17-13-3. So to look back at the Cotuit arms, the left-hander Jackson Wolf out of West Virginia got the start tonight. Went 4 innings, really threw some quality ball for Cotuit. 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Then Richard Brereton and Casey Schmidt came in to throw the final 5. They combined to throw the 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, walked just 1, struck out 6 combined. And for Hyannis, they'll be back in action tomorrow night trying to take on Cotuit, looking to get 1 win off the Kettleers this summer. Cotuit leading 5-0 in the Patriot Cup. And the offense has really come alive in every game they've played so far against Hyannis this season. With the win tonight, it's made it 58 runs Cotuit scored in 5 games. And with the 10-run win tonight, their run differential moves to plus 48 on the summer. So a big-time, high-powered offense to go along with quality pitching is all the reason the Cotuit Ball Club sits in first place in the West Division. The Wareham Gatemen currently trailing 4-3 against the Falmouth Commodores in the second game of a doubleheader after dropping the first one 5-2. And with that, we'll take you around the rest of the league. One more time. Falmouth won the first game over Wareham 5-2. Second game currently in the bottom of the 7th with Falmouth leading 4-3. Out at Stony Brook Field, the Brewster Whitecaps took a 9-1 victory over the Chatham Anglers in an East Division showdown. Whitey dropped a contest to Harwich tonight 9-4. Bourne and Orleans, of course, the one game that Hyannis will keep their eyes on just about every game this summer, wherever the Bourne Braves are. Bourne losing 6-3 out at Eldridge Park right now. So those are the scores around the rest of the league. But one final time tonight, Hyannis and Cotuit, a 15-5 finish in favor of the Road Town Kettleers. The final line for each team, Cotuit, 15 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors. They leave 9 left on base. And for Hyannis, 5 runs, 12 hits, no errors. They leave 6 on base. Richard Brereton, the winning pitcher tonight, after coming in relief for the left-hander Jonathan Wolf through 2 2/3 quality innings, with Cole Pletka, the Dayton righty, picking up the loss as he got the start tonight for Hyannis. So one more time, 15-5 the final score. These two teams will be squaring off tomorrow for the 6th and final time of the summer. That'll be out at Lowell Park for a 5 o'clock start. But for one final time, I'm Lyle Goldstein. We thank you so much for tuning in tonight. And we ask you to tune in tomorrow, 5 o'clock start at Lowell Park in Cotuit between Hyannis and the Kettleers. We'll talk to you then.